Fine, awesome. How are you all? Yeah.
Hi, Anudeep.
Come on, video. Come on, video.
Fine.
Hi, Anudeep.
Hi, Anudeep.
It's been a long
We
time.
miss you a lot.
It's been a long time, yeah.
Sorry. What?
I was saying
We miss you a lot.
it's been 15 days.
Yeah, I know. Once I break, it's like, yeah, weeks, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Good part is I'm energetic today.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we can feel it, yeah. We can feel it.
as much as my family can allow it, I want to take a long call and if possible finish dinner and again join again also.
Wow.
So, but let's see. I can't promise that, but let's see. Yeah. So, okay. So first, I just wanted to spend time in 5 minutes on understanding how people are, what people are doing and all that stuff. Before I talk about some of the things which I have planned today. Yeah. So, yeah. Basically, the first aspect which I wanted to talk today is motivation. Yeah. Because that's the first thing. Because without that, how much ever gyan I give, it won't work.
Much needed.
Yeah.
Unless you're motivated to work and finish your projects. Yeah. So anyway, so what we'll do is first, let me know about you. Okay. So on the chat, tell me what is the status of your project, whatever project you're doing, what is the status of it? So please put it on the chat. Let me just read what everyone is saying. Yeah.
So I just have one doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Who is asking? Who is asking? 1 second. Are you on video?
Yeah.
One second. My Zoom window went on full screen mode suddenly. Anshul, tell me.
Yeah.
Just keep putting your status, by the way.
Yeah.
Don't just say workbook 1. What? First line of workbook 1? What is workbook 1? Write nicely. What exactly are you doing? How much have you completed? Everyone is in workbook 1 only. Anyway, okay. Tell me, Anshul.
Yeah. So that app, Apollo 24/7, the flow I'm going through is search and filter flow. But the filter flow only has a price filter, right? This is something that I saw while going through the app. So is it something that I would consider for my consider that flow for my project, or just select the search flow and go on ahead with it?
I remember addressing a very similar thing on the problem statement cards. It was not you, right?
No.
Can you ask again once? Because I was just looking for that.
So Apollo 24/7, I am going through the search and filter flow. Actually, the purchase flow and then going through the search and filter route. Yeah. And the filter only has, the price filter, right? And nothing else. This is something that I saw while going through all the apps that I was considering for my project. So is it something I should choose, or should I just leave it away and just go ahead with the search flow?
Actually, that's not how you decide a problem statement. You're already narrowing it down to only one problem, then...
No, I'm not narrowing it down. It's something that I saw it, right? So I'm thinking, this is not something that I would like to just focus on. And I would obviously see the, heuristic, evaluate the project and then do everything with it. I don't want to be biased towards it.
Again, if you think search and filtering flow both combined is going to become a too big of a project, then you can scope it down. But else I would ask you to focus on both. What's wrong?
No, I would love that. I would love that. So, to focus on both of the things rather than just focusing on one aspect of it.
And therefore, we don't drive these things in that manner, which is very difficult. That's what I'm realizing. That's a struggle for a lot of people. But I mean, the only way is learning it in a non-textbook manner. The decision is not just about how do you select, search, and filter randomly? It has to go backwards from business impact.
Achha.
How do you think that you can significantly impact the business for the metrics which you have chosen and all that stuff?
Yeah.
By selecting a flow which is significant for you to work on. Think in that lens.
Yeah.
If there is already enough which you can do in a filter flow, that's fine. You can scope it down to filter flow.
Yeah.
If you think search, it's fine. What you can also do, which is also where I kept replying a lot of things, a lot of projects as well, is you select search and filter flow now. But later in the project, you realize that there's too much in filter itself that you can be addressed.
Yeah.
You scope it down then at that point of time.
Achha.
So you get back to search later.
Yeah.
You can do that. Yeah, all of you guys. You selected something, it's okay. You don't have to bang your heads that is it too much or not. I have literally given go ahead also for a lot of people whom I know that will scope it down later. Because if you don't have, also I should make sure that you have enough ground to play with, right? What if you just have selected something very narrow and you literally know the issue and literally know the solution also already, and you do the whole project solution backwards?
Yeah, that was something that I was thinking about. I don't want a solution backed approach.
That's what I'm saying. So go with a bigger scope.
Yeah.
Right? Find out problems. If this happens to be one of the biggest problems, try and solve it. Right? But if you also, as a part of it, find bigger problems, it's fine. Do it. But in real companies, do we also go that specific and solve those problems? Absolutely, we do that. Whatever you're trying to find, right? I also have solved projects where I'm literally working only on that particular filter in that particular page.
Yeah.
But my problem is, it might not totally help you in your portfolio projects to be so specific because you don't have enough data.
Yeah.
Because what will happen, you'll just have you have limited data, right? We are not working in a real company. So you have limited data. You have limited information, limited inspiration. So what you'll do is you'll just probably make one screen and change it and put some reasoning over there. But it's not enough for recruiters to go and see and understand your entire potential. That's my only problem. It's not that you can't solve such problems. But on the other hand, what's happening is, if people select too big of a problems, then they go totally haywire. Like there is no basis only. There is no foundation to what they're trying to do. They're literally trying to find random issues in random places and put everything down. Then there is no focus. Then there is, you don't even know why you're doing it for those particular business metrics.
Yeah.
That is also too much. So therefore, people just do artificial things. Put one banner here, change one button from left to right. It can also happen. You can also just change the placements of the banners. You can also change the placements of buttons. It can also happen, right? But it's also actually about the reasonings. But a lot of what happens is after the whole project, all you did is one banner changed from here to there. Me sitting in Amazon or a company like this can do something like that. I can still feel proud because I can also show you the impact of such a thing. But in your portfolio, it's not enough. Because you're freshers, your potential needs to be seen. So you need enough meat to showcase people. Right? So that balance is what is required. And that's why I am putting the effort to validate everyone's problem statements. Or else I could have just left it. No, like, do Carlo, whatever, no problem. I need to balance this meat. Yeah?
Yes, sir.
So make the problem statement and put it. That's the mistake which you have done. Which you have not even kept your problem statement there.
No, I have added it.
That's what I asked you. Did you keep? You said you didn't.
No, it's Anshul's. It's there in the problem statement.
Did I already give you a reply?
Yeah, you said ki narrow down your scope, and I did that as well.
Ah, cool. That's fine. Then good. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yes. Awesome, Anshul. Okay, so let me just look at the status. Workbook one. Need to start heuristic evaluation. That means you didn't start the project only. Building hypothesis, peer review. Good. Almost ending of workbook one. Problem statement card should. Workbook 0 only done. Okay. Heuristics. What do you mean, Akshat? Doing problem, find and solution. What? What do you mean, Mohit? What is this doing problem, find and solution?
It was a typo, Anudeep, actually. I was typing like I have completed my heuristic and all. Now
Okay.
I am finding the problems and the solution statement. Like I'm at the end of the workbook one. In a hurry, I did the typing mistake.
Self-heuristic evaluation. Done or starting? Karthik, what do you mean by self-heuristic evaluation?
Now I'm doing.
Doing is, what do you mean doing? Started
Actually,
just before the call?
no. Actually, previously I started that.
When did you start? When did you start?
Actually, 2 to 3 days before, actually. And in between, I have some work in doing my research work, so only kept aside. Then next week, full-fledgedly, I will work properly.
I hope that next week will come. Okay, creating flow in FigJam in workbook 1. This is for before conducting your heuristic. Pranav, that's where you are, right? Yeah.
Yes.
So still starting, creating
the
flow.
Still starting. I mean, the screenshot, I was finding some difficulty in taking the screenshot in Google Pay. So I thought I'll take a photo from another mobile, then I'm just pasting it there. So basically, I'm just starting.
Payal has a question. I'll come back to your question. Haven't started workbook 0, then start workbook 2. Preeti and Neha, workbook 2, what? Started?
Yes, sir.
Where are you guys?
Yeah, just started.
Just started. So
yeah.
Ready now.
Yeah.
Ready to go for
secondary research and art.
And secondary, for secondary research, yeah. Started watching module 2 videos. Say, please do it parallelly. Please don't block yourself until you watch module 2 videos, and then don't do that. Okay. Next year, OP. Also, where is your evaluative project? Where?
Bumble Anudeep. 1MG is also coming. 2 evaluative projects.
Where is exploratory project?
That is also coming. I'm on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1 second. Okay, so Gopika is an issue. We'll come to that. Okay. Now what I want you to tell me is, quickly tell me what is blocking you. So let's quickly go there. All the people, I'll go back to workbook 0 later. All the people who have finalized the problem statement, working on workbook 1, what's blocking you to not finish it? What's happening? This evaluative, exploratory, nobody has kept anything. I don't know why. Is there anyone from exploratory group? Affinity mapping, mini project. Nagasai, you had, and we will talk about the affinity mapping and all that, whatever I've given you an answer, right?
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Second iteration of wireframing, workbook 3, mini project, right, Rahul?
Yes, Anudeep.
What about others? Why are they not coming? Where is Pragya? Where is Batul? Pani, I can see. Where are the people working on exploratory project? Just call them, ask them to come. Rahul, just put a message. Is there any concern? Or they just, probably they were there last week. No, I should have worried so much anyway. Okay. But if there are any concerns, please talk to me. Okay. Don't stop attending calls. Okay. So yeah. So what's your problem? What's blocking you not work on workbook 1? Can you please tell me? Payal says, still not. My problem statement is not sure if my problem statement is good enough to start the project. Payal, did I already give you a go ahead? Speak up.
Sir, you haven't given the review.
I haven't given the review. When did you post?
Last week.
Last week, and I didn't give review. Why I didn't give review?
Same for me.
Hey, I gave go ahead. See your chat.
Okay, sorry, sir.
2 days back I gave. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. I had issue with your business metrics, but later I realized that you will realize it yourself. So initially I wanted to tell that, but later I just gave a go ahead.
Okay.
So anyway, if there is anyone, unless if you have created the problem statement card just in the last 1-2 days, if at all you have been waiting for too much time to get a review, because sometimes I can skip, it can happen that I missed your thread. Okay. If there is something like that, please let me know. Please DM me directly on Discord or on WhatsApp and tell me that I have to give you, if you've been waiting for more than 3 days, please let me know. Okay. I am trying to clear them as fast as possible, but yeah. Okay.
Hi, Anudeep.
Hi, Anudeep.
Hi.
Tell me, who is that?
Atvik, Anudeep, is this?
Atvik. Yes, Atvik, tell me.
I'm not still getting a clarity about my problem statement.
Okay, that is blocking you on your problem statement. I'll come back to that. I know people have issues with their problem statements, but for those people whom I already gave go ahead and working on workbook 1, what is blocking you? I need to hear that.
Judah here.
Yes, Juno. Judah.
I have a problem with selecting the flow. The reason is I have selected the Swiggy app where to search
come back
healthy
to it,
food.
Judah. Come back to it. I'm asking about workbook 1. I'm specifically asking people about workbook 1.
Yeah, selecting the flow. Okay, workbook 1, fine. Yeah.
Sumukh says, for problems identified during peer review, should I write hypothesis statements during peer review itself or after the call? After the call. I'll come back. Actually, on the top also, I found some issues. Gopika and Payal, your question was on selecting. I'll come back. Gopika, are you there?
Yes, Anudeep, I'm here.
Can you just ask your question once and cut on your video if possible?
Yeah, sure. 1 second. Yeah. Yeah, so the thing was, I had a peer review done. So I had to do it in 2 different calls.
Okay.
So Judah itself was going through my hypothesis statements, and
You guys were doing it yesterday, no? All of you in level 2 VC. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So a lot of them said that my hypothesis statements were solution oriented. So I went through the workbook and there was a statement which said, this is my assumption of the solution and this is what the problem is. So I was confused if I was right or wrong.
You are right. It's fine.
It's fine, right? So
it's fine. That's what I've asked you. The hypothesis should be having a solution part and should be having a problem part.
So am I supposed to write multiple solutions for one particular problem that I've...
You can. I left it to you guys. I gave a framework, but I left it to you guys.
Okay. All right.
Right? Because we will be validating both problems and solutions anyway in your research.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. If you don't have a solution, you can still leave it like that also. You can just identify that this is your problem, what you think is the problem. You can just validate the problem itself.
Okay.
One thing is you will not get 100% validation on the solutions because you have not built solutions yet. Only in your prototyping stage is when you have built the solution. So that is when you get validation for the actual solutions. But writing down probable solutions will make you analyze the root problems better.
Okay.
Right? So yeah, if the solution part is concerning you, you can just leave it also.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean you should not even write down solutions because you're expected to write solutions when you create a hypothesis.
Yeah, all of my hypothesis statements have solutions.
Is that what happens in real companies? No, so you, a product manager, sit and you come up with hypotheses. You come up with ideas about what is that you really want to do to solve these problems. Your stakeholders will be concerned about what is the direction you want to take. So they will want you to give solutions, what you think are the solutions right now. But you working on the project, you doing your research, you getting validations on the solution, on the problems. And after conducting research, you will understand whether is this the only solution? Can there be better solutions?
Okay.
What is the optimal way of solving this? All these things will happen. You trust the process to get there.
Okay.
But your hypothesis should be made because you already have it in your mind.
Okay.
That's how it is different from design thinking project, where in design thinking project, I strictly avoid you to come here because you've not even unlearned it. But now that you've unlearned that should not do things solution backwards, we take one step ahead now. We can't remove solutioning out of our brain. So we put the solutioning there with the knowledge that we will be validating it. We'll validate the root problem. We'll make a prototype later and we'll validate the solution through the prototype as well. And then we will bring solid data that this is what will work. Make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. Does it make sense, everyone? Do you see what's happening over here? Did you hear that? You didn't hear? You're like,
yes, Anudeep.
Chalega, later recording mein clear karenge.
No. Yeah.
But do you think like having a specific solution will be like biased, right? Like having a button,
you are
make
biased.
it bigger.
You are biased.
Like that.
That's
Specifically mentioning it.
That's what I'm saying. That the reason you guys are in level 2 right now is because now you are trained to understand that it is a bias and you know where to put it. But you can't see. It is natural that you think of solutions, right? When problems are identified. Now you know how to deal with a problem and a solution pair. You'll not literally do the same thing. You will go and find out the root problems. Because in businesses, this is what happens, yeah. I mean, your product manager will not come and talk root problems with you. Your product manager will talk solutions with you. Tell me a hypothesis statement, Gopika, from what you have.
1 second, just. So my app that I've chosen is Ixigo. Ixigo Train. It's a train. It's a train app. So the hypothesis, one of the hypothesis statements where indicating my hypothesis is that indicating to and from clearly on the text field is important because I assume it will avoid any confusions regarding the origin and destination stations for the users.
Okay, go. Say it again. Sorry, I got distracted.
My hypothesis is that indicating to and from clearly on the text field is important because I assume it will avoid any confusions regarding the origin and destination stations among the users.
Okay. Yeah. So the reason I asked you to say this is what was the point I was saying before?
So that we have a solution and then we are going ahead. Product managers will come up with the solution.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, correct. So when you go to a product manager would come and say, hey, can you keep the to and fro? That's what they'll tell you. Right? So would you just go and take a screen and put to and fro? No, you write it down as a hypothesis. I'm thinking to and fro needs to be written because this is the problem. When you go and do your research, you validate the problem first. That's what you'll work on. Actually, you validate the problems. You find out deeper problems. You find out the root cause of these problems. And then when you ideate, you come up with 10 other solutions. Right? Not literally 10, but many other solutions. So is to and fro the only way? Can there be a green and red? You can do that as well, right? What if you can prove it by that there are enough products which already have built that mental model that I can utilize it over here? You can do that probably. Again, we don't know answers to all these things until you test. Now what you'll do, you'll build that, you'll test it. People will automatically understand that this is to and this is fro. And then utilize that and say that probably we can test this because I have feedback from usability testing. You got it? So in that manner, whatever you initially assumed as solution can change or probably it can work also. Yeah. Because you guys have the maturity to handle this right now. That is why you're doing it now. If you literally started with this, you wouldn't have had the maturity to handle this. You wouldn't have understood what bias is, what is solution backwards. You wouldn't have handled all this. But this is how we have to do. This is how real problems are solved. Your business will come up with solutions only. That's how they start giving you the problem statements. Your problem statement itself will be a solution. Once I got a problem statement saying, suggesting how to use the wallet balance in the hamburger menu. This was how I got a problem statement. Suggesting wallet balance in the hamburger menu. I turned the entire project into, I wrote down all these things as hypothesis and all those things, and I turned the project to visibility of wallet balance, where I gave solutions of how to improve visibility of the wallet balance, not just in the hamburger menu, but also in multiple places across the stages of the app, across the journey of the user. Because the business metric which the product manager wanted to deal with is getting higher DAUs on the wallet and more conversions on the wallet. But that product manager thought that this, if at all we show the balance, if at all we show the wallet balance on the hamburger menu, the problem will be solved. And that's how my project was defined. Right? But it totally changed the course of the project. But I started with that as the hypothesis. And that project was like really, I got very good appreciation for that. Because I have given opportunities to impact the business in a much higher manner. Instead of just putting that. Right? So, do you get this, guys? Pani, is this example enough for you as you're typing or not?
Sort of, but then like I had this issue with me, like, at work, like 2 days back.
Yeah, already having issues at work. Start video, man.
Yeah, so basically the PM came again.
What, Pani? Yesterday in workshop, what happened?
I know, I got so many messages from all my friends, and like you like all of them had joined that workshop. So everyone was texting me from like different places.
Pani suddenly becomes popular. Whatever call it is, whatever workshop, offline, online, suddenly. As a Pani, then people will be like, Pani, we know Pani. Like, dude, what the heck is happening here? Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, I had this issue with.
What's the insider feedback you got
from the workshop? Everyone loved it. Like everyone was like, "Oh, the energy, it's unbelievable. Like, how does this guy talk for so long?" I was like, "Yeah."
No insider points.
I mean, I'll probably ask them more like in detail and then get back.
Anyway, okay, go ahead. Say it. Yeah.
Yeah. So at this thing, so 2 days back, this PM had come with a problem statement saying at the checkout page there was like a drop off, and he came up with like bunch of metrics things, and then he was like, the reason might be that there's an FAQ button and people maybe aren't understanding what the problem is. So that FAQ problem, if we can add some sort of motion or something so that people can click on it. And since like last 2 days,
classic example, Pani. Exactly what happens.
Our entire team was sitting and all the solutions kept ending towards motion. And I told them, I'm like, the only reason we're thinking about motion is because the PM suggested that. Can we just keep that aside and then probably start from the start?
You see the difference, Pani, between you and the other people in the company? You see the difference? I'm telling you, trust me, a lot of people out there who got hired as interns or people out there will start thinking, how do I implement this motion design? How do I do UI design for this and all that stuff? I know the kind of people whom I'm training. I know it for sure. And for others, you get the validation. Pani literally joined internship and exactly facing the same problem what I'm talking about. So what the shit you're doing, all of it is valuable. Okay? You have validation now. Yeah. But anyway, one thing is you have to remember that Pani, you're still an intern. So the trust factor they have on you is still less.
Yeah.
Okay? The moment you start questioning, like, what is this? They'll start thinking, this guy thinks that they can literally change everything in the app.
That's why sometimes I just don't tell anything because I'm like, maybe
you need to balance that.
Yeah.
Sometimes what you need to do is you will add the motion, give it, say 1 second. I did this for you. Now I prove that I can do whatever you ask me. But on top of it, I found this is the root problem. Ultimately, these are the business metrics you want to tackle. This is the journey. I did a quick evaluation and I felt these are all the things which we can fix and make sure that people can go to this FAQs. See what's happening? Probably people are very popular issue. People are coming to customer support. A lot of customer contact points are happening. CPU is what they call it. Correct or not?
Yeah.
And then the product manager wants to reduce the contact points by improving the accessibility for FAQs. If at all people can already see the question answered on the FAQs, they will contact the customer support less. Yes or no? Did I understand the problem, right?
Yeah.
This is a very classic problem which product managers solve. In fact, there are like some 20-30 problems literally which product managers generally solve. Right? I don't want to talk about them right now because it will be overwhelming people. But you will understand this as you keep working. You'll understand this that, oh, most of the problems fall into these popular categories. Okay. So what happens is generally PMs say that put one big button to show FAQ.
One of the other solutions the PM suggested was change the color of the button.
Classic. Yeah. Change the color, add some motion. FAQ, keep shouting.
Yeah.
In the onboarding flow, tell people that if you have any questions, please refer to the FAQ section. You'll have even more darker patterns also. Put contacting customer support 3 steps behind. By default, you come to FAQ, you search for questions. One question says, I have another issue. You click on it. You click on this other issue, show a bunch of other issues. I don't have any of these issues. Then you click on it and then you'll say, do you want to chat or call? Yeah, you see all these kind of patterns also happening. Okay. Yeah. But that doesn't mean that you'll keep negating all these things and you'll keep getting frustrated that why are we not doing justice for the user? No, don't get there. You are playing a game. Your team decides to throw a no ball so that the batsman will become overconfident. You have to throw a no ball.
Yeah.
You got the analogy? There is a very, very important principle which Amazon also teaches us. Is there in one of these in leadership principles. It's called as disagree and commit. It's a very important principle you have to learn. What does it mean? You disagree with it. You know that you disagree with it. But since you're working as a team, your team decides it and now you have to commit to it. And you work as if you've agreed to it.
Yeah.
But until the decision is taken, you fight for it. But after the decision is taken, you commit to it. It's a very, very important team building skill. And you have to do a lot of it as an intern because you need to build trust.
Yeah.
It's also a very good important principle which Amazon teaches. Earn trust, right? So very, very important. Keep earning trust by doing what they're asking, plus do additional things and keep asking questions so that they understand that you're only helping them, not blocking them. Right?
Yeah.
So what you can do, Pani, is show them how multiple other products have solved this problem and what would have been that impact. Probably get some secondary data as well. And support this product manager for solving this problem. They would still be sometimes people will still be adamant, no, just let's do an animation, let's do this. Probably they'll even send it also. The dev is ready, they're building the animation. The exact animation is what you'll have to build and give. It'll happen. Don't get hurt. It's fine. Do it and give it. They have decided to move the train in that manner. But did you leave at least some impact that, oh, if at all I've utilized Pani a little better, this person could have come up with 10 other solutions, which are already in the plate. But next time I'll do it a little bit earlier because I trust this person can deliver, but still has earned my trust that this person is willing to help me. That's the way you act. Okay. In fact, a lot of students, like literally a lot of students, when they join this, I remember my conversations with Swati. She joined Ghana and like every day message, Anudeep, whatever you have taught, this will exactly doing opposite. I'm telling them, this is a leading question. This is yes or no question. This is not a quantitative study. This is a qualitative study. Users are not targeted. PMs, please don't think solution backwards. Literally, daily she was sending messages. I said, cool. Now your responsibility is to make sure their company realizes that these are mistakes by earning their trust. The job is not about literally fighting and waiting for the company to give you an actual UX problem to solve. That will not happen. They'll do their job. Yeah. So good, man. Awesome. Yeah.
Anudeep.
As long as Pani is there, I can keep earning a lot of money. Because he'll apply things on time, whatever I've said. He keeps setting results, right? And I'll keep using them as case studies. Yeah. So yeah. Thank you, Pani.
Anudeep.
Thank you.
Anudeep.
Yeah, who is this?
Hi, Anudeep. I'm Divishri.
Yes, Divishri.
I selected a problem statement on YouTube Kids. You suggested to take a user set board, right? I actually, how is the procedure? What I want to really need to do there?
See, I actually struggled a lot with your problem statement.
Yes.
12 to 14 years thing, no? That one, no?
Yes. The app is designed for 4 to 12 years kids. Is it the right problem statement which I have selected? First doubt I had.
Oh. One second. Later you changed it again, huh? I'm just going to your thread.
Today I decided to take other problem statement. Whether
it's okay. I'll talk about a broader issue over here. We'll get back. Okay, I just want to focus today a little bit more on the other problems rather than on the problem statement cards, because anyway, individually I'm giving replies.
Okay, yeah? Thank you.
So we'll go there. Okay. Let me not distract myself right now. Yeah. So,
hi, Anudeep. I've got one more question regarding.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was while getting the problem statements written, right? Should we, when are we supposed to start considering the business metrics as well as the target audience while jotting down the problems?
Again, sorry, say it again.
While writing down the problem statements, right, for during heuristic evaluation, are we supposed to consider the business metrics and the target audience we are targeting?
You always have them as your lens, but you don't have to worry if really a business metric will be moved by identifying this problem or not. Not always, but you have that lens that, let's say, you want to solve a drop-offs problem. Okay. What's the problem you're solving, by the way?
The business metric problem.
What is the problem statement?
It's the improving the search and filter application for while booking a train ticket app.
Okay. Got it. And the business metrics?
DAUs, retention, conversions. I think I changed it though.
Literally everything. Anyway, so let's say you want to impact the conversion. Yeah. Did you put a problem statement card? Someone not finding it. Anyway.
Yeah, I have. You even said good to go.
Now the question is, I'll give you an example. Okay, wait. Tell me one issue which you found with the flow.
Should I just, okay, 1 second. Again, I'll just say the problem that we use for the hypothesis statements. The to and the from, while for the origin and the destination station was not prominent enough. Like even if you go out of the app, it does not reset itself. So when you come back, the station names of the previous ride is already there. So you don't know which one is to and which one is from.
It's actually not an issue, but anyway, you're finding it as an issue. Okay. Tell me something else, because I'm too biased here, because I designed the entire travel category for Amazon. Flights, trains, everything I've designed for Amazon. Whatever you see on Amazon app for travel categories, I've designed it, including the UI. So
okay. So there was this other problem where these stations in the search flow, the search screen, there's this thing called recently searched routes. And they only had the short forms of the stations, as in if it's Trivandrum Central, it's only TVC. So for users, it might be hard to identify.
Okay, fine. Now, okay, so there are only station codes and the station names are not there in the suggestions.
Yeah.
Okay. So for whatever reason, they might have done it. They might be optimizing for the space. They might want to show more stations and stuff like that. But it's a good issue. It's a classic help and documentation heuristic issue. And though it is helping in recognition rather than it's also a recognition rather than recall issue, because you're forcing people to actually try and recall what the station code is instead of making them quickly recognize what the station is. Correct? So these two heuristics, by these two heuristics, you're finding this that as a problem. Okay. Now the question is about how do I relate it to a business metric, right? So what you do is, let us say you're hinting on conversions, right? You use the lens of conversions. Okay, I found an issue. You don't have to worry about whether literally putting station codes and names over here, will it improve my conversions or not? You don't have to actively think in that manner. But in general, improving that flow over there, can it lead to better conversions? If at all I improve this flow and overall make this flow better navigatable, better access, better readable, do I think that more people would come and convert? If you think it can happen, then yes, go ahead. That's fine. Finding issues in that lens is fine. Right? You guys are like doing it for the first time. You will not have this maturity, but there will be stages where you'll find issues which are not totally related to the kind of business metrics you're attacking right now. So sometimes we only solve retention problems. We're not really worried about conversions. So we focus mainly on the things which we have to improve for people coming back. And though we find issues which can help the conversions, we don't prioritize them at that point of time. For you, it is very difficult to come to the stage because you've not worked in a real company yet. Right? But for now, all I say is, have this lens. I'm working on conversions. If I make the information better on this, if people understand things over here better, probably they can select stations faster. And therefore I'm reducing the amount of time people are spending on each and every stage. It can lead to lower drop-offs, because the more times people spend, the higher chances people will drop off. Right? So therefore, it can potentially go and lead to increasing the conversions. As long as you have this lens, you don't have this much clarity always, but as long as you have this lens, that's why I'm using the word lens, it's fine. Okay. Everyone, did you get it, guys? I tried to explain it in a very, very, very detailed manner. Or did it just go out? I'm not sure I understand. See, Siri is saying, I'm not sure I understand. Anyway, did I confuse you guys or did I give more clarity? Like, I don't understand. I tried to explain it in a very, very detailed manner. But is it enough? Any confusion there? For how many of you did you do understand? Say clear on the chat. Whatever I spoke to Gopika. Using the lens of business metrics to make sure your project is going in the good direction. Not going to extremes where you're worried about, are you going too much in the wrong direction, or not going in the other extreme that you're very, very focused on each and every feature you find, whether it is going to impact the business metric or not. Not to the extremes, but trying to balance is what I'm trying to say. But totally losing sight of your business metrics is wrong.
this other issue also. Like people say, for example, they are taking this regular commuters, like and is it good like finding a problem for new users?
Sorry.
You have selected regular users, and if we can't,
the problem
for
new users, right?
Yeah, no. If the problem statement has the regular users.
You have targeted existing users, but you found a problem for new users.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about it at that particular point of time. If it is grossly negating something, yes, obviously, you can state a point saying that I can work on this, but if I do this, if I make, that's flexibility and efficiency of use problem you found out, let us say. Okay, what is the flexibility and efficiency of use says? It says there is a default way, but for novice users or for experienced users, there should also be a way for them to do things in an efficient manner. That means they need shortcuts. So you're introducing shortcuts for people who are already using your product. So let's say your shortcut takes away the visibility of the default way. Then, if at all you feel that this is going to cause a problem to the new users because they cannot discover this shortcut or they cannot understand the default flow properly, you can raise it as a concern and keep balancing it, saying that, okay, I want to solve this problem for experienced users, not disturbing the experience for new users. That's it. You're not worried about solving the problem for new users as well. You get this? You're worried about solving a problem for experienced users as much possible manner by not disturbing the experience for new users. That's the lens you use. Yeah. Give an example, I'll be able to tell it better. Give example, bro. What, you just randomly ask the question?
Instagram improving the experience to share reels with your friends. Instagram improving experience of old users sharing reels with their friend.
Okay.
Now they do it in such a way that, the new users experience also doesn't get hampered and old user understand how to do it easily and they do it.
So yeah, see, for example, you can double tap on a post to like it, correct? But Instagram did not remove the like button, right? The heart button. Why? Because the heart button is a default way. But the efficient way is double tap. So there is flexibility to use the product in an efficient manner by double tapping it. But the default way also exists. That means experienced users can take this path, new users can take this path. Yeah? Judah, please, bro, don't keep such blank face. I'm not understanding whether you understood or not.
Now, another reason is like what I'm trying to say is like when you're identifying problems, when your targeted user are regular, but when you're identifying problems, when I did review checking and all, the people are looking for new users, problem for new users when their problem statement doesn't say that. I mean, it's for regular users.
Achha, in your group, people are doing this.
Yeah.
And you have identified this as an issue.
Yeah. So I was telling them, say your targeted users are regular users and, you can focus on that as well. So
yes, you can ask them to do that. You can ask them to do that. You can tell them to focus more. The problem should be solved for existing users because that's whom you have targeted. And you can just have the lens that I don't want to disturb the experience of new users. But my focus right now is existing users. We do that. Actually, we actually also solve problems like that. We don't solve all problems for all types of users. It cannot happen. Yeah.
So Anudeep, if we are focused on like particular user.
Who is this? One second. Who is
Priyanka.
this?
Priyanka.
Come on video if possible.
So I have decided on working on particular set of user like while defining the problem. And at any point of time, shall I choose other set of user or the business metrics which I have defined earlier? Shall I choose?
But why?
I'm just asking, like,
if you have a valid reason, you can.
Judah mentioned, right, the new.
You don't do it just because now you're identifying new problems with them also. You don't do that like that. You should have a justifiable reason. You feel that the business impact can be much better by focusing on these people. Therefore, you want to switch to it. And you also include them. That's when you do. But most probably, this is not obvious, because once you target someone, you have targeted them because you want to also get their DAUs. You want to improve retention of that particular cohort. Right? But just because you're identifying problems for new users, you're again not worried about existing people. They're not. Let's say your problem statement is about retention more than discoverability or DAUs.
Yeah.
Right? Then it's not going to help if you're just taking new users, right?
Yeah.
Right? So that's why you have to always have the lens of the business metrics as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So that's good.
Anudeep?
Once, tell me, Pushpa.
Like if you have to consider business metrics, then we will be evaluating the entire flow, no? The heuristic evaluation. In that case, we might find other problems which would not impact the business metric that we are considering. Then what to do about that?
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying it's not easy for you at your level to dismiss them entirely. That's what I'm saying. Consider them right now, fix them. It's okay.
Okay.
With years of experience, you'll get there. It's not so easy. Yeah. So don't dismiss them off immediately. But what you can do is, if you have that feeling, you still write them down. But when you prioritize problems which can be fixed more with respect to the business metric which you think is impacting. The impact. Write down the severity. Anyway, writing severity, no? Anyway, writing the severity of the impact and all that, write it in the lens of the business metrics.
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay.
Anudeep.
One second. So, just give me a second now.
Hi, Prajot. Yeah, sorry.
You guys stop. Okay, just give me 2 minutes. Just give me 2 minutes. You guys stop. Okay.
See, I have a question. Like when people are writing this problem statement, for example, if the text, people are saying that text is in gray and very light, and they're making that as a darker thing, would help users. That is the assumptions they are writing. Would like more specific into the answers, like solutions. Do you think that would make sense?
As a hypothetical statement.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's okay, right? This is their assumption of the solution. So the solution.
But how do you ideate on that? I mean, how would you ideate on that when you're already solution? I mean, when you already have solutions there.
But that's what we do, right? Once we we take the flow, we do heuristic evaluation, self-evaluation, and then we write our hypothesis, correct? So we write our solutions also in that. And through secondary research and primary research, we'll come to know if this solution will whether solve our business metrics and improve the user experience or not. Right?
Yeah, so I think it's the same thing happened with me, and during that, like not the same problem, but while finding a heuristic, a problem through heuristic evaluation, I got one solution also. So I just wrote it somewhere that this could be a possible solution for it, but I thought that I'll think about it more.
Yeah, so all the solutions you are finding in the heuristics part now, those are all assumptions of assumptions. So you will have to validate them in the user interviews.
Yeah.
But like,
no,
but if
when
I
you're
found
finding
one,
a problem, that's okay. But
Hmm.
it's making like a specific solution. So this is how it can be like that. No, that
yeah,
blocks
that's
your
what I'm saying.
ideation.
Yeah, so that's I was also thinking the same. So I put that solution somewhere that so that I didn't forget it. But I also thought that I'll not give too much emphasis on this one so that I can at least try to think of more. And maybe I think with competitive analysis, we can think of something else might click, or maybe the situation could be that could only be the solution for your problem, which you have, got it at the first place.
Yeah, so that is there.
That could also be possible, right?
That is there always. Yeah, you can keep the idea in your mind, and yeah.
So what's the point? What's the point you're saying? Discussing?
Again, the same thing. Like, say for example, a text is very gray, and you're writing there, making it darker would help. Making the text darker would help the users. Like more specific, your statement is too specific. And when your solution, like when you're writing the hypothesis, how would you ideate? Like your ideation, how will you do it? Like when you're already have the solution in the statement. That's my thing.
Bro, that's exactly what my point to us is. Don't be blinded by the solution. I'm saying the solution usually comes into the picture. So therefore we write it down. But the moment you write it down, now you have to take your lens away from it. You need to find out the root solutions. You're getting validations on the problems which you have identified. No.
Yeah.
How do you do your secondary and primary research? How do you base your secondary and primary research?
Validate the problem. Validate the hypothesis.
Okay. So how do you do that? Can you explain once? Tell me, even if you have not read the book, probably just tell me. Yeah.
Yeah. Like if I'm having a point, for example, say for the one CTA, it's not very visible, and I'm having that as a problem. But instead of me telling that making it a bigger or something like that, I'm having a problem with the CTA, and I'm going and validating in the user, and user also finding it as a problem, that using that as a CTA and unable to find it or something. So now if I'm like not too narrowing, like broadly saying that the CTA is the problem, rather than stating that, it should be brighter color or green color, something like that.
Yes, bro. You could also come up with a solution, right? Saying that I assume the button should be bigger over here because I assume that the problem is that people are not able to discover the button enough. You can write your hypothesis statement like this, right? And you can validate the problem of the button to only understand whether if this is one good problem to solve or not, or I'll put it another way. Fine, I'll give you the technique. For both exploratory, evaluative, for both it works. Yeah. Write down your hypothesis statement. Write down the problem. Write down the solution. In fact, this thing came in the last whatever the Hidden Gems call, no? I remember that time when I spoke, I also answered this question that time about hypothesis. Who attended that call? Hidden Gems call last week? Sheetal, are you there in the call? Raina, Sheetal, whoever organized it? Anyone who attended?
Yeah, Anudeep. Yeah.
Who is this?
Sheetal is here.
Sheetal, were you there in that call?
Yeah.
Hidden Gems call.
Yeah.
I discussed about the hypothesis in that call also, right?
Hypothesis, not hypothesis, not in the last call. It's, I think, last call. Tanya, I think, no, Tanya took.
Anyway, bring that reference later. Okay, write this down, Sheetal.
Okay.
I want you to bring that reference also of that call and also share it with the community. Okay.
Okay.
Where I also discussed a very similar point. That time it was only exploratory project. So I discussed at that point of time also on building hypothesis. Okay.
Okay.
Anyway, so I'll give both the perspectives. You need to understand that solutioning is something which naturally happens. Your product managers or you or your business or whatever, you come up with solutions. That's how you talk. Right? So the stage one is, yes, stage one is you write down the problem, your assumed problem, and write down the assumed solution. You write it down. Stage one. Stage two, when you're doing your research, when you're doing your secondary research, primary research, go and validate the problem. Don't validate the solution. I'm giving you right now. Don't validate the solution. I'm making it easier for you. You'll realize later how solution can be validated and all. For now,
it's there. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
It was there in that call, right?
Yeah, it's there. Rahul asked you about the problem statement. Then you said this thing.
Yeah. Right? Don't validate the solution. Keep the solution aside for now. Write down the solution, identify the problem, validate the problem, right? Understand the root cause of the problem from your research. When you analyze your research, when you do your affinity mapping and all that stuff, right? Write down the root cause of the problem. Come up with, when your ideation stage, come up with multiple solutions for the problem.
Yeah.
Got it? It can be the same as what you assumed. It might be different from what you have assumed. Then you can ask, why am I even writing solutions in the first place? Because that is how problems come to you. You'll say, hey, you know what? The button is not bigger. Probably whatever Pani said, right? His real product manager is saying that we should shake the FAQ button. That is how you think. That is how people talk, right? So therefore, there's an opportunity for you to write it down. That's the only reason I'm asking you to put it there. Clear now?
The people are not identifying the root cause of the problem. That's why I'm trying to say that.
Not identifying. That's why there's a peer review. That's why there is the workbook 2. Everything is there for that reason only. No.
Yeah, that's why
workbook 1 ends by identifying the hypothesis statements. It doesn't ask you to do anything else. Right? It just asks you to write down the hypothesis statement. When you go and talk in your interviews, when you gather insights, that is when you go deeper and define. No, that is your empathize and define stages. Here you're still just simply, your workbook 1 is totally just about understanding your problem statement in a better manner and establishing your need for research. Nothing else. Both in exploratory and evaluative, both the projects is exactly what it is. Your mini project or your mega project, right? In mega project, workbook 1 is about building hypothesis statements. In exploratory project, evaluative project, the workbook 1 is about building hypothesis statements. In both these projects, what you're doing, you're dumping your understanding about the problem statement, you're breaking it down, multiple sub-problems. You write down all the hypotheses which you have, write down probable solutions which you think they are there, or you go solution backwards, and write down the solutions and write down the root problems, whatever you come up with a pair, problem and solution pair. And then in your research, validate the problems, forget about the solution for now. Have the lens of the business metrics, validate the problems, analyze, get your insights, understand your problem in deeper manner. In your ideate stage, come up with 10 other solutions. It can be the same as what you've already hypothesized. It can be different from what you have hypothesized. Implement it, build your prototypes, test it with users, change it, and then make the final UI. This is the approach. Clear?
Yes.
Be it evaluative, be it explorative, this exactly is the approach. The only difference in evaluative project and explorative project, in evaluative project, you already have an existing flow, you're evaluating that and you're finding issues from that flow. In explorative project, you go more open, You understand the root causes of the problems in that particular area, right? You identify those insights, you dump all those insights, and you build a better product for enabling all those problems. Because existing solution that is not there. That's the only difference. Yeah. Cool. Now Judah should be clear. Who presented it to Judah?
I did.
Yeah, it's good. Hey, but one more thing I should tell you. Oh, it's not water. One more thing I should tell you is utilize the community, guys. I'll give you some tips on how to utilize the community. Okay? Because if you utilize the community, and coming back to the motivational angle, okay, utilize the community, you will be motivated to work. How? Okay, I'll give you some tips. You do this and then I'll tell you, you'll understand yourself. Whatever you're doing, whether it is UX related, not UX related, it's just about watching House of Dragon on Hotstar, no? Yeah. Hotstar, do it in the community. Join VC, put a message in your group. Guys, I'm watching House of Dragon. I'm going to stream it. You all want to watch? Come, let's watch. Create opportunities. Let's say, hey guys, I'm having dinner. I'm just sitting in front of the VC. Let's chit chat. Right? Create opportunities for people to connect. Then automatically discussions will come. Yeah, see, Pani is one classic example. As I said, as long as Pani is there, I'm going to make a shit ton of loads of money. Pani, I think you should ask a refund to Growthschool. He anyway got it for very cheap anyway. But on the other hand, so yeah, so Pani's group, whatever his group name, some 1046 has given. So that I used to observe this. Whatever, like anything, they even did bitching sessions. They had some common enemies. They started bitching about them. Right? Whatever. In fact, bitching is a very important thing to bond. My startup, my first company where I worked, the founder, what he used to do is used to not sit with us for lunch. It's a small company. There are only 12 people. We used to sit separately for lunch, and sometimes used to join. I used to ask him, hey, why don't you join daily? If I join daily, you can't bitch about me. I was like, what do you mean about bitching about you? I said, it's important to bitch about your founder. Only then you guys can bond. Because I know you'll have issues. And those issues will come to me only if you start bitching. Right? So yeah, that's why people, anyway, it's a lot of strategies people use in gathering groups. Yeah. So is my network lagging?
Now it's okay. It went off for a couple of seconds. It's okay now.
It's very impactful.
No, we didn't miss anything. Just slight.
This is so good. Coconut water. Anyway, this genuinely felt good drinking coconut water. But anyway, so yeah, some shit like this. You're drinking coconut water. Join your VC. Hey guys, what's up? Hello friends, coconut water pillow. Do that. Yeah. When you connect with people, you start having the feeling of belongingness, and you'll keep motivating yourself. Groups which really started bonding well in this manner have very, very good completion rate. I know this for sure. With that, actually, I got reminded. I think I really want to rework on your groups again. I know there are some groups which are not active, and because of that, one or two people are suffering. I will again work on your groups somewhere or other. Let's fix this. We'll have lesser groups and have more active people on all this. So what we'll do is, actually, within the session only, what I want you to do, go to Discord and say hi in your own level 2 group. Do it. Come on. I want to see how many of you are active in each of your groups. Yeah, do it now. While I drink coconut water. Do it. It helps me understand if your group is not active. I can go and add more people or delete or do something. I can take some action. Yeah, all the groups, whatever. Or if it's an old group. Yeah. Do it. Yeah. Good. Do it. Yeah. Loving the excitement. What, Sakshi already started discussions also, huh? She'll just say hi and come back. This is too excited. 2037. Huh? Stop it, guys. Yeah. Sathvi, you don't have a group. Huh? Anyway, I'll fix that. Put it in the support. I don't have a group, or I don't have an active group or whatever. Yeah.
No, I'm responding on 2043.
It's okay. Don't directly pick. But anyway, I see 4 people already talking. Oh, it's 2 people only. Okay. We'll see that. We'll get there. I'll merge some groups and all. I'll help you guys. But it's very important. Okay. Don't say hi twice. I thought 4 people are there because two times you said hi. Yeah. Okay. This also I have taken care. So yeah. So what you need to do is have literally lunch sessions, dinner sessions, like, watching something together. Of course, don't make it too open also and people will not join. Like, have some purpose. Let's have lunch together. Yeah. Let's have dinner together. Or let's watch this. Make things casual also. That's one trick. Then also the second tip is go and start working on community. That means, let's say you're filling your evaluative project workbook. Get to VC, share your screen, or even not share your screen. Just join and work. That's it, silently. If someone comes, you'll talk. If no one comes, it's fine. Or probably all of you are there at one point of time on silent and literally doing your work. That's it. Nobody's disturbing anyone, but all of you are working because all of you have the accountability that all of you are working. This is another tip. Someone please write down notes of all this, no? We'll share the pamphlets. Pamphlets or whatever to people. Please utilize these techniques. Yeah. Yeah. Anudeep is using our tactics. It's okay, bro. Now it's the time to give back to the community.
Yeah, they should do it. It just backfired last week. That's all. Nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, reels and podcasts. Yes, you can have. Guys, there's so much in these reels. Frankly speaking, that's a secret. You don't need the mastery program. Just watch all my reels over and the podcasts. You don't need this program. Yeah.
You can also watch those. Anudeep, these people can also watch those videos, those module videos, which are generally, exhausting when done solo.
Yeah, but you can do that as well.
If multiple people do that, yeah, it'll be good for them.
Yeah. Watch the videos, module videos. Suggest something. Like say that, hey, today we're going to watch this video. All of you just join. I'm watching this video. Next tip is install Discord on your mobile, please. I'm surprised by the number of people who don't have it on mobile. Have it on your mobile. Okay. The next tip is change the background to white. Might be shit, but I'm telling you, change the Discord background to white. I'll show you how to do it. Okay. Or someone please show it to me, show it to the group how to do it. I'm giving permission. I'll tell you why. Once you do it, I'll show you. I have a reason. I have a UX related reason for it. Anyone wants to guess? Why change Discord background to white? Guess it, no?
Text is not. Actually, I will give others a chance.
Anyway, okay.
The notification highlights are better?
Not like that, but it's a very simple reason only, fundamental reason. Go ahead. Anyone else? You remember
it feels more active.
Sorry?
It feels more active in white background.
Not like that. Not just about feeling.
We are more habituated to white themes.
It shows how many messages are.
It is easier to understand.
Abhi said it.
It clearly differentiates how many messages are unread and how many of them are read.
Okay, but how?
Doesn't
Yeah.
feel intimidating.
Spend more time.
Spend more time, then what? Give proper reason. Ajitesh, you also can't talk like this.
Like in reading the messages, Anudeep, like spending more time on Discord community.
Yeah. So then white, change it to white. You can put it in black also.
We'll
No?
get more distracted and we'll.
Black is
like,
sleep
better
mode.
visibility.
Night mode, and that's a day mode. So you want that activated because too much of engagement or activity or being active feels when it is white.
Because all other social medias are night.
I think recall rather than recognition rather than recall heuristics, because
Whoa.
it relates
How is that, bro? Tell. It's okay.
Yeah, because like a book, it's a white page and you write that way.
The example is good. The heuristic is wrong.
Okay.
Want to try again?
Let me
matching the real world.
Match between.
Matching system and real world.
Yeah.
Good. Good answer. Wonderful. Yeah.
The
Ease of
font,
urgency
most of
because
the
there is
fonts
a
are
lot-
grey. Most of the fonts are grey.
Nothing, guys. Very simple. Ours is not a gamer
Textbooks
community.
and notebooks are all white and page,
Yeah.
and when you write it, it's black or blue ink. So
Ours is a text-intensive community. Straightforward. You have long paragraphs which you will write, which you will read, and all that stuff. Ours is not a gamer community where like one-word words and shortcuts or cheat codes. Yeah. So straightforward, we are a text-intensive community. That means there's a lot to read. And black text on white is easy to read, straightforward. White text on dark backgrounds is difficult to read in general. I mean, you can still say night mode and all, it's fine, but in general, that is observation. And therefore, the text needs to be bold, bigger, and all that. Interface, in fact, darker interfaces are designed in places where you do not have to focus a lot on text, but have to focus more on media. That's why YouTube or TV interfaces, they're all black backgrounds. Like all these Amazon Primes and all, because the focus is more on the media rather than on the text. And interfaces which have high focus on text usually prefer white backgrounds because there's a lot to read. Yeah. So, yeah, this much reason is there. So, actually felt literally the way I started using Discord when it was in black versus white has totally changed for me. I could easily read a lot of paragraphs and not feel overwhelmed when I changed it to white. Yeah. So now you know the UX reason for this. Now I might sincerely request someone to share their screen and quickly show how to turn Discord to black to white. Yeah. Who is doing that?
Shall I do it, Janati?
Yeah, Janani, go ahead.
It's pretty straightforward. Just go to appearance.
For you, it is straightforward. You are not the user.
No, mobile, I can just say this. You can just click on the thing.
You can share your screen and show that also. Yeah, come on. Show it to us.
Yeah, this is tough for me because...
Go to settings and
Janani, change it to black and then change it to white.
Actually, I tried doing it. I don't know how to do it.
Go to settings.
Okay,
I can find the settings. Just go to the settings, appearance.
Settings, then appearance.
Where is the settings?
Icon settings is below, like when you reject call.
Defin is there.
Below, yeah.
Yeah.
What a good usability session, testing session.
Sorry, I was just searching for
Appearance, click on
Go to
appearance.
appearance
Cool,
under
chill
the
down. I'll
app
tell her.
setting.
Generally, it's not your problem, okay?
There's appearance on left.
App settings, yeah.
You're learning design from this also.
Okay, sir.
This is not your problem. Whose problem is this?
The designers.
Exactly. It is Don Norman's problem, not your problem.
Dark and light, yeah.
Yeah.
But what is sync with computer?
If your computer has a theme, it will reflect that.
If you have a dark mode on your computer, it is dark, and every app which is there is dark, and whichever you chose sync with computer will be dark.
Yeah. Generally, you can just go to be in the dark mode. Okay. Escape once and go to some place where there are a lot of messages and stuff. Yeah. Announcements. Go to level 1 announcements because I kept a long message today. Or just go to UXM chat also. It's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a lot of messages unopened.
Yeah, you see the difference between this? Yeah, this is like, you see Saurav, such a big message, right? You see the difference between this and now turn it to white. Turn it to white. Go to settings again and turn it to white. Yeah. Yeah, just close this, escape. Yeah. Yeah. Now see this.
Looks so clean.
Sorry?
It looks so clean and readable.
It looks readable. You might not find it cool enough for you. It looks like shit and all. It happens. But trust me, it's no more just about Discord looking good for you. It's about making it easy for you to read more text. Yeah. So, yeah. Anyway. Veena says, shed some light on neo-brutalism UI. Why? You want to join CRED, huh?
No, not particularly, but yeah, I'm reading a lot about it these days and something very eye-catching. So that's why I wanted you to like shed some light. Like Gumroad is following this UI and it's very attractive and different kind of following the skeuomorphism and neumorphism thing. So I thought
I have a very good opinion on it. I'll talk, but I think we will utilize the time a little bit better now. I was thinking, but I really have very good opinions about trends, following trends, what can be called as trends, and yeah, all that stuff, and also specific to the trends which you see over here. I have answers, but let's finish off with the serious part. Probably I'll get to the casual parts. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So now, okay. So what are the tricks which I told you to engage in the community? Can you please tell them back to me? Someone who has noted it down. Yeah.
Like sending some videos, like model video, and saying that we'll see them today.
Okay. Then
dinner sessions.
Dinner session, not specific to UX, any casual sessions. Come and join.
Videos are not allowed. Like we can't send videos on Discord.
Sorry? What is
module videos, podcasts.
One second, someone said something. What?
Someone said something in the line of not being able to find videos on Discord.
Not able to find videos on Discord?
If I heard it correctly.
Not able to
Share.
send video. Share.
Oh, why is that? Can you tell me?
I don't know. It's asking for some other application to some. I was trying to share steps recorded.
Aditya, just see what Monica is facing once and see if there's like a popular issue. Then let's try and address it. Okay.
I have recorded the steps how to turn dark mode to light mode, and I was trying to share with my group. someone was asking in my group to steps. So I thought I should record the screen and should send in group, but it was not I'm not able to
I
send.
just check if the community is not allowing video uploads. Okay, check it later, Aditya. Okay.
Actually, Anudeep, there's a limit, like 10 MB.
There's a file limit of 5 MB, Anudeep. Like unless the server is boosted or one is not a retro user.
We need to boost our server, man. Again.
One guy has already boosted somehow. He's in level 1.
Yeah. One boost I received.
Yeah, so there's like one person, 2 people more.
Since it's a community, we can actually ask people for boosts.
It is asked maximum file size is 8 MB. Upgrade to Discord Nitro.
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 Yeah. Let's see if we can get boosted to level 2. I need 7 boosts. I have 2. So 5 more boosts. Let's see.
No, Anudeep, 4.
There are 3 already. Okay, whatever. Okay. Let's get there. Okay. So, next thing is okay. Where is my video? Yeah. So with that, I discussed about coming and participating in the community so that you will be motivated to work. Okay. The more you connect, the more you'll be motivated to go and do stuff and you'll keep going forward. Okay. That's one thing I wanted to talk. Second thing is it's okay to take breaks. Don't stress out yourself always. It's okay to take breaks. In fact, what you do is, if you are stuck in a mental block, like I've been only doing this, never going forward, do these things. One is take a break for a few days. Just don't touch anything like that. Only do something else. Just take a break is the first solution. The second solution is trying and picking something else. Let's say you're stuck in workbook 1 of the evaluative project. Stop there and probably work on some drill exercises. Start working on some UI exercises, right? Or probably go and create some new problem statement cards, or go and read other problem statement cards and start giving reviews to them, right? Probably go and start helping juniors in their design thinking project, whatever. Like just pick multiple activities which will take you away from the current activity and do some other activities so that your momentum is still there, that you're doing something, but your brain is away from that particular thing, right? And what happens is the moment you go back, you will already have a fresh perspective of dealing with it, and sometimes you get unblocked. This happens. Yeah. So trying alternate activities to what you're already doing will also unblock you. You got it? Yeah. My situation. Yeah, Judah. Janani is like, it works like magic. What works like magic? What are you talking about? What I'm telling? Hey, whatever. People are still stuck with the light mode. What were you talking about, Janani?
Like take a break.
Okay, got it.
That.
Take a break. 1, 2, do something else to keep your momentum. Right? Don't take too long breaks also. In fact, I would ask you to still engage in the community by doing something else instead of like that is a break from the current activity. That's what I will put it. You totally put a complete big break, then your whole momentum itself stops. Let's talk physics for some time, okay? Yeah. Do you know the concept of momentum? Cool, chill, listen to me.
Same thing I did, Anudeep, just for mind relief.
Awesome. Yeah. But anyway, let's talk about momentum. Yeah.
Yeah. Just I wanted to.
Can anyone tell me what is the formula for momentum?
Mass into velocity.
It all engineers come.
Mass into force.
Mass into
acceleration.
That's force.
Mass into acceleration is force, guys. Newton's second law.
Proud designers know.
Anyway, momentum is defined as mass into velocity. Yeah. So that means, and anyway, momentums, to talk in pure physics terms, momentum's derivative is force, right? Double derivative or derivative? Derivative, yeah. The rate of change of momentum is what is called as force. Okay, chill, I'll explain all these things. How it comes to UX and how it motivates you, I'll tell you. Yeah, rate of change of momentum is force, right? Am I right? Single derivative only, no?
Yes, that's right.
Not even one person telling.
It is. It is.
Oh yeah, thank you. I was like, did it train you people so much that you just completely forgot engineering or physics? Anyway, yeah. Okay. Now, okay. So what happens is this thing about momentum is, let's say an object is considered to be having very good momentum when it either has a huge velocity, for example, like a bullet. Yeah. It is very small, very tiny, right? But it has a lot of speed, a lot of velocity. And therefore, it can create a huge impact. Yeah. Let's say there's a wall, and a wall can break if you hit a bullet. Yeah. But the bullet is so small, no? If you just take the bullet and keep hitting the wall, nothing will happen. But with that much velocity, when you hit, it breaks the wall. Correct? Or what you can do is, you can take like a big stone, a rolling stone, and roll it to the wall. Even if you slowly hit also, the wall will break. Right? So impact can be created by two ways. Having huge mass, a lot of mass, or by having huge velocity. Yeah. So this impact, whatever this impact is, yeah, is actually because right now it is stationary and then it is breaking. Yeah. And I'm going to entering in physics, but what is happening over there is this bullet coming and is changing the mass and velocity of this particular object over here. Yeah, because that's what is happening. It is breaking. The wall is breaking. The mass is going away with a different velocity. Right? So because of this happening, there's a change in this object's momentum. Okay? And how much it changes is actually calculated as force. Okay? A perfect physics class I gave. Okay? The rate of how much, like if it has created a lot of impact, that means that is when you call it as having a lot of force. That's the bullet is slowly moving, right? The same mass slowly moving. What will happen? Probably it just chip and go away. But the bullet is like moving very fast. It creates a big hole. Probably the whole wall itself like is gone, right? Right? That means the impact is measured based on how much change in momentum this particular wall has had. Is how it is measured, right? So the more the force, the more change in momentum. Okay? Physics class, purely physics. Okay? Now let's use it. Let's change the gear. If only my teacher taught like this. Huh? However my teacher taught, this is how I used to imagine. Because see, what happens is, it'll say, hey, force is the derivative of momentum. Momentum is mass into velocity. What the F will you understand? We'll start imagining stuff and in a non-textbook manner, right? Anyway, so what happens is, and there's one thing about momentum. Okay. So how many of you remember Newton's first law?
No, Anudeep, don't take us there.
From now,
mass into acceleration.
You will never forget Newton's first law, I'm telling you. Yeah, sorry. Tell me. How many of anyone who remembers
mass into acceleration. F is equals to ma.
Second law. That is second law.
Okay.
Anything in reaction has
E equal to mc squared
reaction.
What E equal to mc squared, dude? That is not
It's
the
an equation
illusion.
over.
And then
Once you put
Everything
No, that
in
is something I
motion,
remember from.
it's moving.
A body at rest continues
Yeah.
to be at rest until an external force acts on it.
Yeah, Samiksha. Yeah, finally got an opportunity to use your knowledge.
I swear.
Yeah, so Newton's first law says, if let us say there is an object which is at rest, okay, it's not moving. Let's say there's this phone, okay, it's sitting over here. Okay, not this phone. Okay, I'll take this thing. Okay, let's say it's sitting at rest. Until unless someone comes and disturbs this, it will continue to stay at rest. That's what it says. You might be like, what the fuck is, like, how does it even matter? Yeah. But that is how always it behaves. That's why they've written it as a law. Okay. The law also says, let us say this is moving. Until unless something comes and stops it, it won't stop.
In a frictionless surface.
Let me complete, Ra. 1 second. No. Yeah. I'm about to say that. But you will say, no, Anudeep, if I throw something, it stops. It stops because there are things which are stopping it. For example, air is stopping it, or a ground is stopping it. Something is stopping it. That's why things are stopping. Or else things won't stop. They'll only keep going. That's why your planets are there, no? They keep on moving. Yeah? They never stop moving because nobody is stopping them in the direction in which they are moving. Okay? Don't ask me more. I can explain you everything there also. But your planets are always going, right? Because nobody is stopping them. Yeah? That's when you go to a space and just throw something, it will keep going only. It will not stop until something hits it. Okay? This is Newton's first law. Okay? Second law also we discussed. That is change of momentum. If something, so there's a bullet, I told you about momentum. It hits something and the impact depends upon two things. One, it's either its mass or it's a velocity. Yeah? Cool. Notice third law also I'll tell anyway. This also we can relate. What's the third law?
Every action has an equal and opposite reaction.
This everyone knows. Yeah. So whatever action you do, right? So what happens is you go and I'll not use physics terms for now, but simple. You go and apply impact on something. You will get back the impact is how they have defined it. Okay. You throw a ball, it comes back. Okay. You hit something with some kind of a force, you will get the...
If you punch someone, you will get a punch back.
That's it. Now I'm talking physics only still. Okay. We'll get there. We'll get to the motivational part later. I'm still talking physics right now. Yeah. That is Newton's third law. Enough. Now let me translate it into how the fuck do you get motivated by understanding Newton's laws. Okay. The first thing is you need to understand that you want to achieve something you will not be able to do until you change your state of inertia. What does it mean? You are in rest. You're not doing anything. You're not learning UX. You're not watching any videos. You're not doing anything. You're in rest, state of rest. Okay. Until unless someone comes and disturbs you, you will remain in the state of rest. Okay.
Sleep.
So what is that you have to do? You have to create opportunities for someone to come and fucking disturb you to start learning stuff. Yeah. That means until unless you act on creating opportunities for someone to come and disturb you, you will not change. You will be in state of rest. You will be in state of inertia. But the good thing about Newton's first law is it has other part also, which says if a body is in a continuous state, until someone stops it, it won't stop. And that's the beautiful part of it. Once you start engaging, once you start working on things, you'll get into that momentum that until someone really comes and stops you, until something really comes and stops you, will continue to keep doing it. That's the beauty of how we live. You're brushing your teeth, daily you're brushing your teeth, it becomes a rhythm. Until someone really stops you to not brush your teeth, you'll not stop doing it, right? It's proven, right? So momentum works both ways. And so momentum, yeah, right? So not momentum, sorry. inertia works both ways. Yeah. Either you can have inertia of rest or inertia of motion. This is literally the scientific words. Yeah. So, how do you change the inertia state? That is when Newton's second law comes. Yeah. The amount of push you can give yourself, yeah, is dependent upon how much force you apply. How do you apply this force? Two ways. Yeah. Either you do a large activity in a short amount of time, even a small thing, but a large activity, like a big project, right? Or you're engaging in a huge group, a large activity. Yeah. Or you attended a workshop or something like that where there's a huge thing over there. Yeah. Or you pick something small, but you do it very quick, like hackathons. Yeah. Just 2 days time. Pick a small problem, solve it, finish everything in 48 hours. Yeah. Either way, either mass or velocity. Right? Either you have huge mass or huge velocity or both. Right? The higher you give this, the more momentum you have. And the more momentum you have, the more force you can apply. And therefore, you'll change the state of your inertia. Got it? So identify these opportunities. Think in both the terms. How can I pick something very, very impactful? That is a mass. Right? How do I pick something very impactful? Like a big project or a big discussion or anything. Like there's so many things which you can identify what is big for you. Right? Like a mega project or a mini project or whatever. This evaluative process. These are big things. You're trying to learn it. They're huge, huge changes. Right? But okay, you're taking your own time. It's fine. Right? Also identify small things. Let us say you wanted to conduct a heuristic evaluation on one screen. Pick half an hour. All of you come to a group. Do a quick heuristic evaluation on it. Quickly. Right? Got it? Newton's second law. Applied. Yeah. Now comes Newton's third law. The more times you do this, the number of times you apply this impact, the same kind of results you will get. Straightforward. You want a much better result? Do more of this shit. That's it. Every action has equal. In physics, it has opposite and equal reaction. In UX design, it will have like totally improportional reaction you will get. Small steps you take right now, such big results you can get. Don't trust me, trust Pani. Or trust Keshav. Yeah. His career has shifted by 360%. He's still not happy. He's still there. I mean, he's happy. He's still there in the program. He still keeps attending the calls. Yeah. So
have an ed app. Yeah.
Sorry?
You should have an ed app, something like that, where you teach physics, everything, motivations.
I actually can't teach physics very well, but yeah, thank God I'm a UX designer right now. But any physics concept you have, I can translate that into UX and teach you. Legends know what this means. But anyway, this is Newton's 3 laws of motivation. Yeah. So literally write this down, identify what can build that momentum for you. What are the big things which you can do? And what are the quick things which you can do? And make sure you create enough opportunities to disturb you to make sure your inertia is changed. You are in a state of rest. You need to get into motion. Identify opportunities from where this momentum come and hit you. Right? And the more you do it, the higher impact you do it, the better results you will get. Got it? Yeah. Awesome. Now I didn't even plan this, guys. I thought like somewhere I'll motivate. This came crazy. I probably think I should turn it into a TEDx talk. Yeah. What do you say? Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. Okay. So this is good. Okay. Yeah. Whew. Now, it's around 8 o'clock, but still we'll continue for some time. Yeah. Okay. Now, content for Hidden Gem. Oh, yeah. This is content for Hidden Gem. This is go ahead podcast, everything, everywhere it will go. Yeah. Sheetal, probably take a note of this. This session, we are going to like lit every part of it. Anyway, okay. The next thing is I wanted to do anything live. Okay. So last time we did the heuristic evaluation on the call, right? So suggest me something which I can do live from anyone.
Anudeep, I have a flow.
People are asking about hackathon, no? So I am November first week is what I'm thinking. But I need to check the dates. I'll check and tell you. Yeah.
In Goa. Live.
So yeah, in a few weeks, you will have the hackathon. I'm planning for that. But there's also, I really want to plan an offline hackathon as well. So yeah. So
Goa plan.
Bangalore.
Probably we'll start with
Bangalore.
Because it is easier for now. Goa also I want to do it. Probably not a hackathon, but we can plan a trip. A UX trip. Whatever topic you bring, I'll convert into UX. Newton's laws, no problem. Biology, no problem. Yeah. Chemistry, no problem. Oh my God. Biology, chemistry and all means totally different things in Goa. Anyway. So, but no problem. You bring it. We'll learn.
This is the Baba we want.
Yeah.
This is the Baba we want.
Yeah. Probably I should set up an ashram in Goa. Yeah. Anyway, okay. So, but hackathon is something which will happen in few weeks. I am starting active planning to that. Volunteers, I am going to look for volunteers. Yeah. So, so those people who want to help me in conceptualizing and implementing the hackathon and helping all these things and also participate in the hackathon. So please contact me. Please message me on WhatsApp. I'll form a volunteer team and then from there we'll do all the planning and all and we'll keep giving updates to people and plan the next hackathon. Okay. So next hackathon will give a huge boost, high velocity and mass also. Yeah, hackathon has both. Huge impact. And therefore Newton's third law like applies like hell. We get a lot of results. Yeah. So I think I should stop making people doing regular projects and simply do hackathons only. You know? But the problem is tomorrow you go work in a company, you'll only do restless things. You'll not do thought out things. Both are important. But anyway, let's see.
Anudeep, about the fourth workbook.
Sorry?
The fourth workbook.
There are some changes to it. That's why I didn't release it. So what happened is, the fourth workbook, which I released previously, which is not there for you yet. Firstly, why are you asking me fourth workbook?
I am going to finish my third workbook.
Then it's fine. Then valid. Okay. I'll give you a version of the 4th workbook. We can start. Okay. I'm making some changes because there are some problems with the approach which I took previously. I understood the students couldn't understand that. I'm changing these things. Okay. But I'll give you the current version to you personally. Those who want the 4th workbook can message me. I can give you the current version.
Through WhatsApp?
WhatsApp or yeah, message me on WhatsApp. Okay?
Yeah.
Yes, Nanda. Volunteers can also participate in the hackathon. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Please give me suggestions on what shall we do live quickly. Let's spend half an hour on doing something live.
I texted you last week this thing. You can take someone's application, redesign it, one particular screen, giving reasonings like proper.
You want me to do UX behind UI now?
I mean, with someone's app, which someone has already, because so that was Google Pay, right? That was a different thing. Here, someone
a student's project.
Yeah, a student's project. Because that same mistake, all of them will make, definitely, in their journey.
Give me an example, Aditya. I'm willing to do this. Let's do it. But give me an example.
So, for example, we had that challenge, right? So submissions came in. So I saw there were like many common problems happening again and again. And sometimes people don't think about actually the UX, and a lot of time people don't think about edge cases. So getting all that basically like from a mentor's, from a experience perspective, like when I do, it might not be taken that seriously. However, if a mentor does it at all, it's gonna be, yeah.
Bring me a case for this then. I'll do it. I'm ready to do it. I'm opening Figma. Shall I do it, guys? Yeah. A live section on me.
Yeah.
In fact, it'll help you because anyway, you want to translate your solution into UI.
Can I ask?
I'll be doing one complete session probably next week on the entire process of you having your ideas, converting them to HMWs, from HMWs to wireframes to UI. Probably take 2 sessions, but I'll do this. Yeah. So, but yeah, go ahead. What's the question?
The question was, how do we know that we are now okay enough to participate in the hackathon? Like,
you are okay enough to participate in the hackathon right now.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
even if we have not
as long as you have completed
2?
the first 2 workbooks of the evaluative project, you have finished your research part, you'll be eligible for the hackathon.
The workbook 0 and workbook 1, right?
Workbook 1 and 2.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so not like if you have not started level 2 at all, you cannot join the hackathon, sorry.
It's a tricky question, but you can't. For now, you can't.
Okay.
Yeah. There are ways in which you can still get, but for now, I can assume you can't. Or I'll put it another way. If you don't finish your at least 1 round of research, how can you do it faster in a 48-hour period time? Because where you're supposed to interview real people. That's the point. That's the reason why I want you to finish your research at least once. Yeah. Okay. So what do I pick? Anyone who is in workbook 3, or like anyone in UI stage, any project, exploratory, evaluative, anything is fine. What's the exploratory team doing here? Come on, tell me. Rahul is also not there. He was also building UI.
Anudeep, is that possible to answer my question?
Dude, yes, I forgot. Yes. Go ahead, first finish your question. Let's get to the... Aditya, find something for me, dude. Yeah, from whatever you said.
Okay.
Yes, your background is like, what is that, dude? The background?
The cupboards.
Cupboards, okay. Looks very fancy in that blur. Yeah.
Like I asked you about the empathy mapping, few questions on empathy mapping.
You ask again so that people understand the question.
Yes. So I asked you about few questions on empathy mapping. So you told me to skip that exercise and replace that to affinity mapping. I just want to understand what's the idea behind that, replacing with empathy to affinity mapping.
Yeah.
So could you please make me understand on that?
Correct.
And I also want to know the difference between these both.
Difference is the easier part.
Okay.
Firstly, what is empathy mapping? Tell what you know.
Empathy, like I'm just taking data from all my research and trying to empathize users.
Explain, bro. You're giving answer like Viva short film.
I don't know exactly. To be frank.
Yeah. Okay, let's try from others from the community. Anyone else? What is empathy mapping? Google UX course experts. Come and please tell me.
Anudeep, it's like mapping, empathizing with the users, and then mapping the emotions through the flow.
Emotions is not the only thing, but still fine. We're almost there.
Feel maybe that.
DTFP.
Is it does think feel something like that? I don't
something like that,
exactly.
but
yeah.
It's
about,
okay.
It's about knowing what kind of users.
Demographic thing.
Maybe like empathy, like whatever user insights we have got during the user interview and mapping them together in a group, similar type of insights in one group, like that, grouping it.
So the say thing, feel and do. The say thing, feel and do.
Sorry.
So the say thing, feel and do, like
right. That's the framework for it. But what do you think? Or let me rephrase the question. What do you understand from the words empathy and mapping empathy?
Is the ability to step on other person's shoes and know how they feel.
Well, you will empathize with the users.
Mapping users, like
understanding the users.
And then you will map them together.
Understanding users
struggling.
Empathy itself.
It's more like understanding the users' feels, emotions.
Aggregating what the people think and what the people say, what the people
Like simplicity, visual representation of your
I'll do one thing,
users.
okay? No. Since anyway everyone is saying saying, feeling and doing and all that. Okay, let me bring that here, okay?
Basically, empathy mapping is observe their non-verbal cues.
Go ahead.
About knowing what type of users.
1 second. Someone said non-verbal something. I just want to hear from them.
Yeah, that's me, Palak.
Yes, you, Palak. Tell me. Tell us.
So yeah, it's basically observe their non-verbal cues. It's like how and what like the user struggling. Empathy is always about the ability to step on other person's shoes and know how they feel.
Not
so you
step
tend
on, step into.
Yeah, like my English, sorry, excuse me.
Yeah.
So it is, it's like understanding, it's like mapping what they're actually doing and not saying. So that is what empathy mapping is all about.
Feel users what they exactly think.
Sorry, Palak, but you're almost right. But the moment you ended by saying it's not about what they say, like I don't know.
No. I mean, it's just like I told, it's like what they do and how you observe and everything.
Non-verbal cues, but it's not always about not being non-verbal.
Okay.
It is important to also get non-verbal cues, is the way people explain it.
Okay.
Because literally we always only hear what they say, but we don't understand about what they think, do, or feel, and all that stuff.
Okay.
Right? Anyway.
Yeah.
So this is what an empathy map, the template of empathy map is. Correct? Yeah?
Yes.
So since anyway everyone is saying this, so what does it say? It says there's a user. Go and map what they are seeing, what they are thinking, what they are feeling, and what are they doing. Okay. Now, we need to understand the heart of why an empathy map even exists in the first place. The thing is, you know that you have to empathize users, correct? That means we need to step into their shoes and understand their problems and all that stuff. We know that we have to do it. Okay. So how can you justify yourself that you have empathized your user enough? By going and making a presentation of what you think is how you can represent what all you have empathized about the user. You need to represent, you need to present it. Let's say I ask you, hey, Nagasai, you're empathizing with your users. So please prove it to me. Present it to me. What will you do? You can either come and keep telling me long paragraphs, or you can present it to me in such a way that I can easily consume about how you have empathized with people. Right? This empathy mapping template helps you present what you did, what did you empathize of that particular user. Okay, fine. That's it. That's what the template says. But how is it used? I'll explain this now. When I say user over here, it is not one individual user. That's not what it means. Because as we are product designers, all of you have done this mistake in the design thinking project as well, right? What did you all do? You started acting like consultants and you all tried to solve individual people's problems. Correct? You did this mistake and I allowed you to do the mistake as well. And then later I kept telling that you're not individual consultants, we are product designers. So we need to identify problems which could be faced by a large number of people and solutions to a large number of people. And you're not doing individual consultation. All of you clear about that? Correct? You get that?
Yeah. Actually, I have a doubt, Anudeep.
What? 1 second. Karthik, is it relevant? Related doubt to...
Yes,
yes. 1 second. Huh? Did they mute themselves? Whoever, if you're not talking, just mute yourself.
Yes.
Yeah? Cool. Yeah.
Yes, I have a doubt. If I want to empathize the stakeholder means, so how can I empathize? Because I'm using a single user, right?
Yeah. No, one second. We'll come to that. We'll come to that part. Okay.
Okay. Right.
Cool.
Okay.
Right now, please understand that you need something to go and present what is that you have empathized about someone. First, the first point. Empathy mapping is a template which allows you to present your empathy. Whenever you map something on a diagram, the only reason why you do create all these maps is so that you can present it to others. And by doing so, you also get clarity. Or else, why will you... Sorry, 1 second. Just internalize this. There are two things. One, by acting on a template like this, by going and writing what the user thinks, what the user feels, by this template creates an opportunity for you to start documenting all this stuff. Second, because you document it, now you can present it to others and yourself as well. Okay, that's the reason why this template exists. Now I'm going deeper into the template itself. Okay, but who was it asking some question there?
Sir, Shailja this side.
Shailja, tell me.
Sir, I want to ask, like these are our assumptions, like a designer, right?
No, I didn't get till there. I'm coming there.
Okay.
I didn't tell you where to use it, how to use it, and all is not yet. I didn't cover about it. Okay, I'll get there.
Okay, got it.
Okay. So, anyway, so now there's a template. So how do you go deeper into it? So firstly, the user over here doesn't mean an individual user. Clear all of you on that? Yeah. We are product designers. We solve problems for a large set of people. Yeah? Clear on that? Say clear on the chat. Because it's important to get that. A large set of people. Yes? Okay. Good, clear. Now it is very natural that this large set of people can be differentiated into multiple larger groups of people. Yes or no? Yeah? Everyone doesn't fit the same definition, right? Yeah? You can have different kinds of targets. We say target users, right? Different kinds of targets or different ways of grouping people together can exist. Yes or no? By common sense. Correct? Different ways of grouping people together or targeting people. Targeting is how you start. But for now, don't worry about how. But if there are ways of grouping people together by some properties, that group can be called as a persona. Okay, or a set of users. Yeah. So now I'll explain later about how a persona works, how do you build a persona and all that later. For now, get this word called user set, which in other words, I can also call it as persona. For now, I'll just use the word user set. Okay, or a group of people. Or actually I'll explain here only. Or the user here represents a large set of people. One user whom you can take as an example who represents a large group of people. That's why when you create a persona, whenever you see persona templates outside, right? Yeah. A persona template has one person with a specific name, with some occupation, this and all that stuff. Why one person? Because that one person represents a large number of people. That is what a persona is, right? I'll show that also. All crazy persona templates, huh? Okay, whatever. I'll just show something crazy. Yeah. So this is a persona. Yeah. There's like a person's name. There's a photo. There's some 28 years old, 9K, whatever.
Are you sharing?
Actually, not visible.
It's not visible.
We are still seeing empathy map.
Yeah.
Now
it's visible.
Yeah, we can see.
Yeah. Now, this is how usually there are multiple templates to create personas. Okay, don't consider this as the master template. I'm just giving one random example. Okay. In fact, it depends on the way your project is and all that. It all depends. It varies. But for now, this is one persona you have in front of you. Okay. You might ask that, hey, it is a single person. It's not a persona. It's literally a single person called Asaf, who is 28 years old, who earns some 9K pounds or dollars per month, right? Obviously, naturally have this question. But the way to understand personas is, there is a single person who is given as an example who represents a large set of people. Then you might ask, then why don't you represent a large set of people as 28 to 35 years old, 9K to 15,000 per month? Why do you have to utilize this? The reason why personas as a concept came into picture is because when you associate real names and real properties, there is a higher chance for you to remember them because we remember real people. When I say Nagasai, Niran, right? I know some properties. It's human to relate with humanly properties of a person, right? So it is for ease of use to refer to the kind of people like Nagasai or Niran Nagasai. I create a persona called Nagasai. But whenever I use the word persona Niran, what it means is, it means people like Niran. So 28 can mean 26 to 32 years old. It can mean. It depends on the way you take it. But you give a 28-year-old because you want to remember it in that manner. You got it? Because it's very human for us to remember specific properties of a person. Okay? Now, so now that you understand that when you target people, you can either target a certain sets of people who have different characteristics, okay, and represent them into large number of groups, right? And then you create something called as a persona who represents that large set of people, where you give some specific values, where you're not too much worried what exactly should I write, to write 28 or whatever, you write around that age. Okay? And you consider it as a set of people. Now, one small thing I'll tell here itself anyway. Okay? The small thing is, we don't create personas of real people. Like, we don't create a persona of Nagasai himself. If let us say I'm interviewing people, let's say I'm interviewing Niran, Aparna, Shailza, I'm interviewing these people, let us say. I don't create personas out of these real people. I should not do that. Because these are specific people. They don't represent a large number of people, large amount of people. Therefore, I create a hypothetical person who represents a large number of population whom I have targeted. So I give a hypothetical name, a hypothetical image, a hypothetical everything, so that it represents, the moment I look at them, I'm not biased about that particular person whom I already know in real life. No. This is a new person whom I'm starting to associate all these qualities with, which represents a large number of people. And because there's a name associated with it and a remembrance associated with it, in an organization, now you don't have to keep telling, hey, what about users who are 28 to 32 years old, who are earning this one, who have these things, motivation? You don't have to say all this. But what about Asaf? That's it. Then it's understood across your organization that what about these kind of users? You got it? Okay. So this is how personas are made. Okay. This is the ideal way in which personas are made. And then for each of the personas which you create, for you to go and understand better about these personas, you create something called as a empathy map. This user is actually that persona who is sitting over here, or the user type, for whom you can go and create an empathy map by writing down, presenting what they can say, what they think, what they do, and what they feel. Okay? I'm still not talking about when do you do this, but until now, do you get this? Do you get it that you can define a set of users who represent a large number of people who are characterized by certain properties, usually called as a persona, or you can just call it as a user set or a target group, however you want to define it. Okay. You can go on until the extent of creating a persona, or you can just keep it as open as a set of users. Your wish. But for them, it makes sense to present what they're saying, thinking, doing, and feeling, and all this stuff through a map like this, so that you understand them in a better manner and you can talk about them in a better manner. Now, if you understood this, now the point is about when do you utilize this. Usually, first I'll tell you usually where it is used, and then I'll tell you where all you can use it. Usually, in UX research or in UX, in product design, we utilize empathy mapping and personas after we finish research. Okay? Why? We utilize these frameworks of creating personas and empathy maps to summarize our research. We have done a lot of research. There are a lot of insights sitting out there. We have insights from different types of people. Now, we want to concise all that into something which is quickly recognizable and usable for us. Because I have to keep getting back to research. No, that is the biggest problem with research. In a design thinking project also, that's the biggest problem you faced. There's a lot of notes and notes and notes. You don't know what exactly to take from there. Right? But in real big projects, a lot of research can happen. Totally so much can happen. Right? Now, how do you always keep that in your ready reference for your mind? by creating personas and empathy maps and utilizing existing research and insights to create these things so that these things can always act as ready mental models. You got it? So therefore, since you're breaking down all your research, a lot of random insights into something which is more actionable for you, you utilize it in the stage of analyzing your research. Now, all you will do is when you ideate, you'll be like, okay, what does, so for the problems which Asaf is facing, this is the solution I have. And probably because Asaf thinks like this, does like this, feels like this might work, might not work. You'll start writing down your ideas in that manner. But since you have done this after your research, the says, things, does, feels are all coming backwards from what you have identified in your research. This is where I'm answering the question that these are not hypothetical. When you are creating an empathy map, tell me, Neeram.
Repeat that point.
Yeah, I'm repeating that. When you're creating an empathy map, you're utilizing existing research insights. When you're using empathy map, according to the kind of workbook which I've written, when you're using empathy map for analyzing your research, which is popularly done. It's popularly done like this. You have done your research. Now you want to make sense of your research. No, research has to be translated into design, right? Or the screens. So what if you don't work on this analysis of research, your research is separate, your screens are separate. There will be no connection between them. It also happens. It's a big problem in the industry itself. Because of which
when you're talking about research, are you talking about both primary and secondary, or just
everything?
Okay.
Everything. Primary, secondary, qualitative, quantitative, everything.
Sir, I have a question.
Go ahead, say it.
Yeah. I was saying like empathy map, like shares, think, and does and feels. These are assumptions then, right? Like
no.
The product.
No, I'll explain again. Don't worry. Chill.
Okay.
These are not assumptions. Yeah. Okay. So when you use this empathy map, okay, I'm just giving you fundas. I think it will make more sense when we jump and look at a workbook and start looking at the case. I'll quickly give you an example, but for now, get the funda. Okay. You have done your research. Niran, you have done your research, right?
Yes.
We'll take your example once I finish explaining this. Yeah. So keep your workbook ready on the screens. Workbook 3. Okay. 2 and 3.
Oh, only 2, not 3. So 3 starts with the.
In the mini project you're doing, huh?
Yes. So actually the question is on affinity mapping. So you asked me to skip
get there.
exercise.
It's a long answer for a purpose because everyone gets this thing. Okay. So now you have to analyze your research. You have done your research. You have done your primary research and secondary research. Okay. That means you interviewed people. You got data from there. You went onto the internet. You got data from there. You have data and insights sitting over there. Correct. Now you want to analyze that. You want to translate it into wireframes and UI design and all that. So you want to always have ready reference of your research. What you do? You create personas and create empathy maps for those personas. Or you can do it the other way. You can create empathy maps and from that you can create personas. Right? You use them parallelly and represent what you understood from your research using these empathy maps. Okay? And use that as a ready reference to always keep validating when you are ideating that what would Asaf think? What would Monica think? What would Asaf say? What would Monica say? How will their experience be for every idea which you are coming up with the problems you are identifying? Okay?
But still we are not sure about that. Na? Like it's again our assumptions, like they would be think like this. But we are not sure about that.
You've written based on your research.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, sir, isn't it like primary research specific? Like this all data does feel, say thing. This will come from primary.
Not primary research specific. It's qualitative. Because you're utilizing a qualitative method in your primary research right now, that is why you're feeling it that way.
Okay.
Got it?
Sir, I had a question with empathy map.
Joe, jump off. There's an important question. Who asked the question first of all?
Preeti, sir.
Preeti, did you get this answer? Did you understand?
Yeah.
Preeti, in your primary research, since you cannot do quantitative methods because it costs a lot of money, you're only sticking to qualitative methods right now in your primary research. That is, you're interviewing people and few people. It's a qualitative method. But for quantitative data, you're going to the internet and finding existing research which is already done, which is secondary research. So quantitative data you're getting from secondary research, qualitative data you're getting from primary research in your project. Right? But this is qualitative in nature. Even if your secondary research data is qualitative in nature, you can utilize it here.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, other questions before I jump and explain about other ways of analyzing your research, and then I'll talk about affinity mapping, and then we'll look at the project also. But again, other questions. What other questions?
So like empathy mapping, you just said that it's qualitative, right? So, so when we are having, like, say, for example, I had taken 4 personal interviews and I've gathered some secondary data as well. So, sir, it's a club of both the things, right? When I'm doing this empathy mapping,
yeah, primary and secondary can be included, but it is qualitative is what I'm saying. Qualitative, not quantitative. Quantitative in the sense, you can't say 80% of these users say this. We don't utilize empathy maps for that purpose.
So then, for example, if I made like 4 interviews, that is one-on-one. So if I'm having like individual personas made, so that comes to the persona thing, right? And if I'm clubbing those plain areas.
If you do 4 interviews, doesn't mean you have to create 4 personas.
Okay.
Because your personas are not representing your real users.
Okay.
Your personas are a representation of how many possible user groups that you can create for solving your problem.
Sir, I have one more question.
One second, just listen to my answers. Just don't keep jumping into questions.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's
Keep the enthusiasm. But listen. Because these are all important questions and it's impossible to get all the concepts at once. Yeah? So what I'm saying is, what was it telling you?
So that not all the personas are individual. It's like a group of people that we are.
It's not specific to one person. It's a group of people. Yeah.
So, firstly, you've interviewed 4 people. You don't create 4 personas. That's not how you do it.
Okay.
Okay? Because your personas are not representing individual people whom you've interviewed because you're not a consultant.
Got it.
Correct?
Yeah.
What do? You interviewed 5 people. You got some insights. You did primary and secondary research also. Then later you understood that to solve this particular problem, I largely identified 2 types of people here.
Okay.
Working women, college going women, let us say, for example, for that particular product. Right? That working or not working is one demographic.
Got it.
Profession is one demographic. It's called as demographic. Okay? Age is one more demographic. Language can be one more demographic. In this way, you can define people through multiple demographics. All these activities are there in your workbook, so don't worry about it. Okay? The exploratory project, all of these are there. Right? Even in evaluative, I've given targeting users, I've given demographics anyway. Right? So through multiple demographics, one is splitting users through one demographic, that is working or not working. But what if you can club multiple demographics together and make one type of person and multiple other demographics together and make another type of a person? You can do this, right? This you call one persona, this you call one more person. And all those demographics of this particular person, a representation of that is what you put in the persona.
Okay.
Right? Working. So that's why you'll write it as this person is earning 9K and working in some whatever. Working in some Flipkart.
Okay.
You got it?
And that's why these many areas of important information has been put because of that, because I'm actually clubbing certain a group of people who falls into this category of,
Correct. You're also clubbing a lot of demographics.
Yeah.
You're making a set of people by going and understanding. See, as I said again, the only way to understand this is like this. Imagine you need to make two groups of people. What will you generally do? We usually take only one demographic. It'll be like people below the age of 30, above the age of 30. But what I'm trying to say is that's not the only way of clubbing people. People below 30 who can speak Hindi, who are auto drivers, or whatever. All these things combined, one group of people. Right? People who are above 30, who are renting autos and cannot speak Hindi, or whatever, can be another person. Okay, the next logical question is, then do I keep doing permutation combinations of all this? You don't, because it's not a mathematical problem. You select relevant personas who represent a large number of people who are relevant for the problem you are solving.
Okay.
Right? Or you include them in the persona in your knowledge. Let's say you said 28 years old, but you also include people from 25 to 35 years of old in this persona itself. You'll do it.
Yeah.
Right? Again, that's why creating persona is not like a perfectionist activity. This is not a mathematical activity or a permutation combination activity. It is, therefore, you need to get the heart of it. The heart of it is, do I have an average representation of who my user is? Or the types of users whom I'm trying to solve the problem for? That's it. An average approximate representation of it or not is what I'm trying to test. What I'm trying to derive. Okay. Okay. So you create a persona. You go and create an empathy map for the persona, or you can do it otherwise. You can create an empathy map for the set of users whom you are trying to target, or you identified after your research. And through these empathy maps, now you know more about these people. You're going and creating a personas, multiple personas. How many ever are relevant to your business and the problem you're trying to solve? Hundreds of personas can be made, but what all personas are relevant is more important. Right? You do all this so that now the moment you look at your personas and the empathy maps, it summarizes the entire research which you have done and utilize it as a ready reckoner for you to go and start ideation. And also discuss with the teams. For example, you say, hey, you know what? Therefore, I included multiple language option for the maps to be navigated because I identified people like, for example, I have a persona called as some Rahul, okay, who understands little bit of Hindi and little bit of English. Okay? So I have a quick switcher. Let us say I come up with a feature saying I have a quick switcher between languages because what I've observed is persona Rahul typically knows Hindi and less knowledge in English, but doesn't mean they know all the words in Hindi. So therefore, when I translate it totally to Hindi, they're getting confused. So they would want to immediately switch to English to understand what it means. You got it? And this Rahul is not one particular person. This Rahul is made out of all the research which I have done, combining multiple types of people, number of people whom I am targeting or I'm building the product for. So it can happen in multiple ways. You could have interviewed 4 people, but you would have come up with 10 personas, which is too much, but you can. Right? The potential is there. We don't do that, but it is there. You might interview 50 people, but you only created 5 personas. That also can happen. You interviewed 2 people, but also created 5 personas. Anything can happen, right? It's always, so gathering data is different and analyzing data is what is different over here. Okay. Now the question is there any other method of analyzing data? Okay. This is one method of analyzing data. Is there another method of analyzing data? Because the biggest problem with personas and empathy map and all these things is If you don't understand all these things, what I've told, and internalize it, you will do it in a totally textbook manner and you have no idea why you made an empathy map also. You'll have a persona because it looks fancy and looks like that. When an interviewer asks you what the F is, why did you make this persona? You have no answer for it. So what I told is, let's chuck it. Let's not do all that. There is an alternate technique which you can use, which usually helps in faster projects which we do. Okay, so this personas and all, we don't do in all projects and stuff. A company usually creates once or twice personas and empathy maps and stuff. Yeah, we don't do it in all projects because every project your users and the types of users won't keep changing. Yeah, so therefore what's happening is the concept of creating personas and empathy maps itself, all these concepts themselves are becoming very unpopular these days. Because people work on very, very fast-paced projects, and to understand itself and communicate it to your team and get results out of it itself is becoming a very difficult task. You need this much level of maturity. You don't have that. You don't have people who understand all this. It's very difficult to drive results from there. Right? So since it is not happening, we use alternative techniques today, which I'll show you, which I also included in your project. So in the mini project, I've included this personas and empathy mapping. But in the mega project, I've removed this and I kept the affinity mapping technique. I'll show what it is. Okay.
Andeep, you also mentioned in some other call, like empathy mapping will be used in large data. Is that true?
Anywhere. I'm coming there. There is my... Oh, I created a persona template also. No, I forgot. Oh, I have all the templates.
Yes, you already.
Yeah, forgot. I have a persona template. I have an empathy mapping template also.
Affinity mapping.
And then there is affinity mapping. Okay, which I'll show here. In the affinity mapping template which I've created, I've even given an example also there for people to understand. Example of affinity mapping.
For every template, there is an example.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll come back to archetypes and stuff. It's a little difficult to understand for now. For now, are you all online, at least conceptually? Yeah. Concept, because it's very difficult to explain all these things. I need to pick real examples and then I have to explain. But don't worry about all that right now. You will not be creating personas and empathy maps actively in your projects right now. I will give them as optional activities. You can do it if you really want to, but it's not being popularly used these days. So people are not really totally worried about your ability to create personas and empathy maps and all that stuff. So in fact, like I have just created personas once, not even in Amazon. It's in, the company before the company I worked. Anyway, and like so that it's becoming that rare actually. Okay. But there's something which we regularly use. That is this affinity mapping. So I'll tell you what affinity mapping is. And I'll tell you why is it that we are using in analyzing research. Affinity mapping, by the way, the word says affinity mapping, right? So the word affinity mapping, right? What does it mean? It has this word called affinity, right? And whenever we use this word mapping, you should always understand it as two things, what I told you in the previous thing also, that whenever you have something which can help you put down your thoughts and work and do something, the opportunity is being provided by a template, and that template is being called as a map. Correct. The second thing is, whenever you map something, you can present it. You can put it in a presentable manner that people can understand. Correct. So these are the two things when you understand is when you see something as mapping, affinity mapping or user journey mapping or empathy mapping, any of these mapping words come, you need to understand that all these things serve two purposes. One, they provide a template for you to start putting down your thoughts, your research or whatever it is. And then they provide an opportunity for you to present it to your stakeholders, to yourself, to your whomever you want. Right? These are two things whenever you see the word mapping. Now, what is the meaning of affinity over here? So I'll give you an example. Okay. So what happens over here is, mute yourself. Okay. First, I'll give you an analogy and then I'll give you an example and then I'll explain the process. Okay. So let us say, first the analogy. Okay. For that, I'll stop sharing my screen for once. Okay. So, for example, there are a lot of people in the group, in a class, like all of you. Okay. I have to divide all of you into multiple groups because I want all of you to work on projects. Let's say all of you are there. You have to work on projects. And these projects, imagine all of us are working, like let's say we have to organize a fest, a hackathon. Yeah. All of us are there in the class who want to organize a hackathon now. Yeah. Now what happens is there are a lot of activities in the hackathon. How do I make sure that all of us work towards the hackathon? I obviously have to identify multiple tasks and I have to divide all of you into groups. Correct? So what I'll do is, for dividing all of you into groups, what I'll ask you to do is, I'll ask you to, all of you to put something about yourself. Yeah. I'll ask you to tell your name, where you're working, this, that, and all these things. I'll tell you to do, tell something about yourself. Then what I'll do is, I'll identify common traits for people. Okay, this person is a graphic designer. This person is this. I identify common traits and sometimes matching traits. And using those traits, I will utilize it as opportunity for me to go and group people. Make sense? Simple analogy. There's nothing difficult here. Is it making sense? Clear? All of you? Say clear if up until here. I am understanding about multiple things about multiple people and using those things as properties. I can now have better information to group people into multiple groups. Correct? Now what happens is these properties, which I can go and find connections to, right, is called as affinity. I'm trying to establish affinity between, let us say there is Supreet and Prajyot. I'm trying to find out qualities which can bond, which can have affinity with the qualities of Prajyot, so that it can help me put them in the same group. You got this? This is the analogy. For example, now I'll continue the analogy. So what I'll do is, first, I will go and randomly in the first version, what I'll do is identify few of these affinities and divide people into large groups of 3. There are 100 people, only 3 groups I'll make. Right? And then what I'll do is I'll further drill down, and from those 3 groups, I'll make 6 groups. And then later what I'll do is I'll get more clarity about how people are bonding with one another, or better about these insights. Then what I'll do, I'll reshuffle the groups. Correct? All these things I can do. And ultimately in multiple iterations, I can arrive at groups where it totally makes sense, and then I can give them activities and they can go and completely run my hackathon. Yeah? Make sense? Understood up to here? Correct? Now you got the analogy. Let's translate it into affinity mapping. Yeah? Imagine doing the same thing with data. There's a huge form of data over there lying. Lot of data is there. Okay? There's a lot of data. Okay? a lot of insights which you can gather from all your interviews. A lot of data can come, correct? Multiple users you have interviewed, a lot of insights can come, right? You can say, hey, Anudeep, what is there? Each user has given some insights. Let's just group them by the people who have given this feedback, right? Why not group them by the source? What's the problem? Tell me. What's the problem with just grouping them by feedback as it came from the source itself? Tell something, no? What's the problem?
Too many personas will be created.
No. No. And say, hey, your data is already organized. There is insight from user 1, insight from user 2. Nicely, you kept different colors also. Your data is already organized. What's the problem?
Then you're specifically looking for a particular person.
Because when I want to go and ideate solutions for the problems which I'm defining, there are a lot of things which are repeating. There are a lot of things which don't make sense. There are a lot of things which don't have connection. Because I can't define problems unless I start making sense of the data which I got from these users. Right? So there is a need for me to go and declutter this data and to start making sense of this data so that I can identify proper problems. I can do a proper define stage and utilize those things as a way for me to go and start my ideation. Correct? All this is so random. Multiple people said, it happened in your design thinking project as well, right? What you did, you're like, oh, user 1 said this, user 2 said this. You kept on jumping here, there, and all that stuff. Happened or not? Right? When you wanted to define problems, you like kept on jumping to multiple users here, there, and all. When you're ideating, you did all these things. But what if there was a technique for you to go and understand how is it that this data can be better grouped? Understanding better affinities between the data which is present over there. If there is a way for me to group it, I'll go and group it and make better sense of the data which is being present. Yeah. Now just bring that analogy, guys, of group division. What I'll do, I'll dump all these data in one place. And what I'll try to do is, in an iterative manner, I'll start seeing what are the common things. No concept of pocket money. Okay. Spends hefty on shopping on food. Is there something which I can put these two together with? Probably both of them are talking about something called expenditure. So I'll create something called as expenditure. It's not there. Spends more on travel and food and shopping and spends hefty on shopping and food. Both of them are about something called as expenditure. Right? So what I do is I read these insights. Gets money from parents whenever they are needed. Okay. Where is that? Okay. And gets money from parents whenever needed. Okay. I read this, spends more on travel, do not care, freelancing experience and all that stuff. And then I found something that brother guides everything from learning till investing. And I found something common. What is this? That is, dependency. Yeah, you're dependent on your brother here. You're dependent on your parents here. So what I did is I understood that, oh, probably these both can be clubbed together and I can tag a name called dependency. And you might ask me a question, then how do I find this out? Is there a formula for doing this? No. Whatever you feel in which they can group together with, you can group. Multiple ways of grouping, if you find, you can do it. There's no limit because you're not bound by the technique. The technique wants to help you understand and organize your data better. That's it. The idea of using this technique is not to be bound by what is mentioned in the template of the technique. That becomes a textbook way, right? But we are using the non-textbook way. We understand the power of the technique and we customize it according to whatever we want. So if multiple types of groups can happen, multiple types of affinities can be found, you do it. Right? So anyway, so all happens now is first iteration. What you felt is you thought that you can group according to these things: dependency, interests, something like positive, lack of financial education, struggles, right? You might also find something which doesn't relate with anything also. That's also fine, right? And then you went on another iteration where you felt that you can sort these out in a multi-dimensional manner. Dependency inside that, parents self-independent. Expenditure in that, passion, necessity, and irrational. You got this? It's all your wish. How is it that you can do this multi-dimensional? That means this is about finances and there are multiple subclusters inside that. You can do that, right? In this way, by the end of going and doing it in multiple iterations, here I've given an example of only 2 iterations, but you can do 3 iterations, 4 iterations, you will end up organizing your data better, more meaningful to you. Now, you can start thinking of ideas. You can start thinking of trying to define problems related to expenditure, related to dependency, related to planning the finances, related to learning. And you can also define problems based on the subclusters which you have made also. And start ideating in these segments. You get it?
Even though there is a limited points, I can make as a one category.
Yes, you can. Again, there's no definition about there's no textbook way of doing this.
Okay.
You can literally use whatever you want. Imagine there's a group division, I said, right? There's no rule for group division. Based on what happens in the activity, you will end up with some groups. You do it again, something else might also happen. Right? That's the thing about, clearing your clusters. Or there's a lot of cluttered information. How do you organize it? It depends on your situation at that point of time. And the variables you're acting with. Right? So that is what is affinity mapping. And now what happens is, since usually data which comes from research comes in a very haphazard manner, we use this technique to arrive at cleaned up data. But this technique can be used anywhere you want to group things by forming affinities and organize stuff. You can do anywhere. You can use affinity mapping on your own table also. For your clothes in the wardrobe also you can use. To divide groups, that's exactly what I do. To divide all of you into groups. I use affinity mapping. Yeah, anything. You want to organize people, users. You want to organize your interview insights. You want to organize all the components of your design system. Right? Anything. Wherever you want to organize it, wherever there's a large set of data, a lot of cluttered data, you want to make sense of it, you identify affinities and multiple iterations, you start making sense of the data. That is what is affinity mapping. Okay. Now the question about why is it that I asked you to switch to affinity mapping instead of doing personas and stuff?
Yes.
You can create, after you do affinity mapping, if you get more clarity, you can also create personas and empathy maps. But in general, for the kind of problems we are solving, for the most problems, we are taking very open-ended target users. Right? We're not doing too much of targeting because we don't have that much of data as well. Or you already know, like just 2 categories of people. So therefore, instead of focusing so much on understanding how to divide people and all, because we don't generally do it, right? How can you quickly make sense of the data which you have and quickly get to solution? We are doing it the imperfectionist way, but we can get faster results. Because we already have assumptions about who our type of users are already. We put that as a base. Instead of putting effort to actually go and represent it, we just keep it in our mind and go ahead by organizing data and solving our problems. That's the reason why I said you can skip it and start working on empathy mapping. Sorry, affinity mapping.
In DTP, I was not sure I was doing affinity mapping, but I did the same process. And now I got to know that I did affinity mapping.
Yeah, affinity mapping is a very, very natural process. Wherever there is clutter, we start making sense of it. We actually end up doing affinity mapping only. Yeah. That's it. It's just a fancy term.
Yeah.
After doing affinity mapping, also if we get like varieties of like very broad kind of data groups, like something which is not related to, like they're going in very different directions.
It can happen.
Then what to
you have to keep scoping it down. You have to always keep business impact, your project, your design, the research insights. You have to always keep it in your mind. You can't do it mathematically. That's the problem, Sanku. The reason it can happen is because you're doing mathematically. Mathematically is the sense, okay, this and this I related. What if I relate this and this? What if I do that all those permutation combinations? Then hundreds of empathy maps you'll make for no reason.
Yeah.
Like AI. Yeah. So leave science as much as UX Anudeep tells it to you. Physics, mathematics and all use only up to extent I'm asking you to. Yeah. After that, get into design. Yeah.
So when I stop that iteration, actually we will continuously do iteration, right? So
Yes, until you take your last breath and hand off your project to your next Varasudu.
Anudeep, how do we use this?
But 1 second, did you get the answer?
No, actually.
Karthik.
But
what's the Hindi name for that? I don't know. Like this. Your I don't know.
No, I don't know Hindi.
No, that's why I'm also like in Telugu it is, but who's the next here in English? Yeah, until you hand it over to your next here. Anyway, so or pronounce as here. Yeah. So you have to decide that, bro. Your constraints decide that. How much time do you have? How deep can you go? How much patience do you have to move forward? Is what literally dictates that.
Okay.
That's it. Yeah. Successor.
Yeah.
Karthik, no? Who asked the question? Karthik, no?
Yes.
In Hindi, we call it Uttaradhikari.
That's like too much. Yeah.
Next generation.
Generation is like persona. What I'm talking about is one single user.
I think Neha said, right? Varis once.
Yeah. So, yeah. Awesome. This was like even better than the way I planned the session. Though I thought working session, but this is still also fine. Still a good explanation of these concepts and like and the more I do it, I still feel it's not enough. More and more. You can do so much of these things. Yeah. So some Pushpa or someone was asking a question. Who was asking a question?
Anudeep, like I didn't get to know how to connect the affinity mapping with ideating.
We'll get there next time. You'll automatically get ideas. So anyway, I'll just quickly answer that also. What is there? Now you are identifying that spends heavily on shopping on food. Okay. More than what is necessary. Has freelancing experience, spends immediately after receiving the money. Okay.
Okay.
Now you identify these as problems. You start thinking about solutions. No. This is a defined stage.
Mm-hmm.
You're using affinity mapping to write down the insights and define problems. That's what you're doing.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Yeah, that's it. What we do in this project is we come from here to how might be questions to trigger solutioning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we get to solutions. That's what we do.
Okay.
Woo! Wow.
Hello, Anudeep. I have one doubt regarding evaluative project. Can I ask now?
Ask. What is there? Anyway,
okay, so I'm working on 6 hours. Yeah. So basically, I'm working on MMT right now, and in that PDP page, so basically they have given 4 approaches for just to reach location. Like if they have given 3 categories: overview, location, and then reviews. So I'm evaluating hotel booking app. So in that they have given 4 approaches to reach the location part. So in that case I was thinking, is it good to give repetitive information, or are they just trying to build a trust between the customer and the brand, or like
Whoa, once again. Okay.
Yeah.
Finish it off and then say it again, because I was just lost.
So basically, I'm evaluating a group booking hotel for +5 rooms in MMT. So in that, on PDP page, when we just see all the information regarding hotels, like the location, the food and the dining and all. So in that, they have given repetitive approaches for similar thing. Like for location, they have given 4 approaches. Somewhere they have given a whole tab for like just like a Google Maps, and then somewhere they have given icons. So there are different 4 approaches, and it's a long scroll, like 10 to 12 scrolls are there in a single PDB page. So in that case, I'm asking, is it good to give repetitive information like 4 times in a single page, or like are they trying to build
Not a straightforward answer.
trust?
Not a straightforward answer. It depends on users are always in users cannot have more than 5 plus or minus 2 things in the mind at once, right? Miller's law. So you always need to keep establishing context wherever the user is, based on how many things do you think they have in their working memory.
Okay. So like what is happening? Yeah.
If you think if people already would have it in their working memory, and you don't have to repeat the information, you can remove it.
Yeah, got it.
You have to analyze the existing product in this lens. Because they're repeating information, what are they trying to do? Of course, people also trying to reinforce information to provoke action as well. Right? You will have, let's say you have multiple buttons on the page. Multiple times the call to action is there, so that you have higher chances of making people go and take that action. Right? But when it comes to information, you need to have this Miller's law in your mind. How many things does user right now have in their working memory? Yeah. But don't do it mathematically always. Like
also
principle, understand that is there too much information which the user has already stored in their mind and I'm expecting them. So instead, can I give, like if you see in that's why in the review pages, you'll see all the information already present. This is what you've added to the cart. These many things you have added. This is the size which you have done. So you can just focus on the money you want to pay right now and stuff like that. Right? Or else, or else you have to remember all those things. And if it is more than like this Miller's law, right? Or use your common sense over here. If it is too much, then you will have to go and give those reference points again. On a single page, not generally, but if it is like a long page, you might have to give context back to the users. So therefore, it's not a straightforward answer, but still answers your question. Yeah, it answers your question based on a principle.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
Whew. So then it's not more for the trust building, right? It's more for the for the users to really get that information again, so that they are very much okay with, yes, this is how it's proceeding.
Like one thing I'll add, like where this is coming from. So basically, in the review page, it was like highlighting multiple times. I think thrice.
Yeah.
That it's every.
It's like 5 times in a single listed page.
And that it's a couple friendly.
Show the example. No, show the example. We'll close the call by looking at the example.
Screen share, Preeti. Your thing.
Yeah.
Screen share, yeah.
Oh, anyway.
Just a minute.
Screen sharing permission is there.
Yeah.
What happened? It's not loading. It's not loading.
Is it visible?
No, it's not visible.
Preeti, you can put the link in the chat. Someone who is quick with their internet access, they can share the screen.
Yeah.
For you.
Yeah, just a minute.
Okay, I have that. I have that, Preeti. I'll just share.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay.
You stopped your sharing, Preeti.
Yeah. Maybe stop.
One second.
उसका फिर से hang हो गया शायद.
Yeah.
It's there. Okay.
Whose project is this?
Preeti's. Okay. So this is the page, right? Yeah, Preeti, we were discussing about it. You all can see my the page, right?
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay. Yeah, Preeti, go ahead.
Yeah. Zoom in more.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Preeti there?
Can't hear her.
She has to join, I think, again.
Anyway, if anyone else can explain it.
Yeah.
So with you, do we all discussed anyway.
Okay, yeah. So there is a basically long scroll, like this page is very long in the scroll. So like there are multiple things showing here, like location is here.
Okay.
Then location is also here. Then there is location is also here. And there is these view on map and show nearby places are the same, exactly the same things. So the same things happening here. Then there is, I think review ratings was there. Or she had, yeah, view all reviews, and I think these are fine.
Got it. No. Yeah. Go back. I'll explain.
Okay, yeah.
The question was mostly about the couple friendly thing. Can you show the couple friendly thing once more, bro?
Yeah.
Like the trust one.
Like, no?
Yeah, see, it appears up there, the red one, and go up.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, this one, then go below, further back, down. Go down.
Yeah.
It's here again.
It's here.
And I think it was like on top in description as well once. So, yeah.
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 Okay. One is information, one is action. I'll tell you. Firstly, whenever you see a map over here, zoom in more.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Cannot place Delhi, view on map. It's an action which you can take to view this particular this particular hotel on a map. Correct?
Yeah.
Right? And what they've understood, the reason why they've represented this manner is all these things are decided based on the journey of the customer. At one point of time, what is the person trying to go and thinking, feeling, willing, doing, all the things which we have discussed in the empathy map, right?
Yeah.
You basically plot all of them on a journey. For example, they came over here. The journey is very similar to what you guys make in your evaluative project, no? All the whole journey, right? But here, since the page is very long, you'll have to split this also into multiple parts of the journey, right? So I came here looking at the pictures, reading the hotel name, and users might want to also check where does it stay within the map. What are all there nearby the map, right? Then what happens? The story goes to how is it that about understanding this hotel much better, right? Go down. Yeah. Understand the details about this hotel much better so they can make a better decision about this hotel is for you or not.
Okay.
Right? Now, next, go down. Let's see where the next location is highlighted, right? Then you go down, you select about multiple rooms. The action is also there. And then, yeah, what they might have thought of is in the journey, either people decide whether this hotel is valid for us or not initially and then try and select a room. But if at all they have not selected a room, what if we can reinforce a location so that they're tempted to go and select the room again? They might have thought in this manner.
Yeah, so sort of a trust building factor.
Not just trust, helping people with information at the relevant point of time based on your story, your journey.
Okay, yeah.
That's where the entire evaluative project is literally a journey map. You are literally fixing a journey map. I have not used the word journey map because people are getting confused. They were looking at some textbook journey maps and coming back. So I totally removed the word from your project. But I wanted to tell you, when you're actually working, what you're doing is actually you're building a journey map and trying to fix the journey. So you need to always think in terms of the journey of the customer or the user, right? So now what's the journey which the person has taken from the top? If you observe, now can you go down once? Let's see what happens at the end of the page. Yeah. There should be some way to take actions. The photos, what gets said.
And the comparison between the hotels.
Yeah. And going to other places and all. And there's an action, book now. Yeah. So what happens is, so if you see on the top, either you capture the customer in the starting by giving some details in the starting and give them options to go and select any of those rooms. Yeah. The multiple actions over here. If you see travel dates, you select that also keeps that I think that is change of information. I don't think that's action. Anyway, by the way, your action always stays sticky in the bottom. This book now button always stays sticky out there, right? So what happens is either you take an action here itself because you know that it's in a place, it is rated good. It's like a summary on the top. Okay. Looking at that itself, can you take a decision? You probably go and click on book now. Go down. No, that's not enough. I need to understand more details of the hotel. So give me option about review. There's a location again there also. Give me more details about the location. Not here.
Above, like the icons about the metropolitan. Yeah. Here,
right?
Yeah.
Give me details about the location at this point of time and the reviews here as well. But somehow if I miss it, right? I just scroll. Provide location and reviews separately also. That's what they have done. In between, there is an action there. You could have also taken an action there itself. Book now to look at the rooms and all that. But then again, location. But then scroll down. Again, you have reviews and rating. They could have navigated there. But they're looking at your journey. You have not yet taken the action. You're still coming down up to here. What's a better way to convince you? Right? So this is how they've thought as a product. Okay. Through a journey. But is this going to lead to any confusions? Is it going to distract the customer? Is it not going to help people? It's all left to a lot of subjective opinions and stuff and your own evaluations.
Yeah.
I won't tell you that answer right now. I'll leave it to you because you might find this as an issue and you want to point this out. And you yourself will do some usability testing and find issues from your primary research, right? And if you find issues and you get sufficient validation that this is definitely an issue, you'll make a better design of it. So I won't bias you right now onto whether this is right, wrong, and all that stuff, what can be done better. But this is the product's view of why this was done and how you should also start thinking in terms of journey everywhere. Just don't look at independent spots. The entire project is not about spot fixing anything. The issues are not just spot issues. Right? If you only think about individual spot fixing, you'll only find individual issues with that particular thing without the context of what is happening at other places. You need to always keep the user's journey at the point of view and then identify issues.
Yes. So talking about this, Preeti, like this view on map, then key landmark, tourist attraction, airport, and others. And if we scroll down, Sumit, show nearby places. So three things shows the same thing, right?
Yeah. It shows the same thing. That is what I'm saying.
Others also still it will show all this key landmark, tourist attraction.
Multiple affordances, multiple signifiers for the same affordance.
Yeah.
But that too so close, like nearby.
Yes,
only.
that
like
is the reason. Like
It can happen that people are not able to understand that, or people understand that something that is natural for some people, this is natural for some people.
Okay.
It can happen, right? They might have
Some people
optimized it in that
Some
manner.
people might click here, some people might click here. Yeah.
Again, is it really repetitive? Is not, is something which you can validate, right? I'm not giving absolute answers here, but you can validate all these things.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome. This is so good. Yeah. Hope nobody is feeling sleepy.
No, never.
Yeah. Very good call, no?
Yeah.
We'll keep having more of these.
Yeah, it was a good call. Yeah.
Aditya certified.
Every call is a good call.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally different flavor. Every call we have. But yeah, we'll have more of this. It becomes, I don't know if there is anyone who got overwhelmed. It's okay. You'll get used to it. Yeah. So awesome. You'll get used to it, guys. Don't think everything will just literally enter your brain immediately. Don't worry. Slowly, as you keep working, as you keep asking these questions, that is how we keep building our knowledge. Okay. So yeah.
I was also wondering, we did user journey map, I think, during this hackathon and evaluative thing, and we are not, I think you took it from the workbook.
I removed it because people got confused. People are doing it in a textbook manner. What they're going and searching user journey mapping template. Some graph and all is there. They're putting that graph and randomly doing it. So like chuck it. Anyway, the whole project is about journey mapping, which are anyway doing without even realizing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anudeep, answer here.
Yeah.
Are you updating the workbooks, or you want me to wait, or can I copy and paste that affinity mapping content in my workbook?
Just follow the mega project from there. That's it.
Because the different steps are there in the workbook 2 and 3. So the content is up and down here and there. So
don't wait. We're still doing it.
Okay, I will be working on affinity mapping. So whenever you update, I will just follow them.
Just keep both workbooks in reference, Mega and Mehi, and continue.
Sure.
That's it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Deep, can you talk about secondary research a little, or maybe next call maybe?
Yeah. What is there to talk about secondary research, Sumit?
Like we are on secondary research now. Like we are working on secondary research. So
start gather data from wherever you can.
That's the problem.
We are feeling if we are going in the right direction or not. Like is the articles and reports good enough?
The articles and everything is overwhelming there. So then we are like, are we going in the right direction, or like should we just skip it, or like
time the activity, how much or you bring it. Do it later also. When you're doing primary research, you are like, hey, I understand this, but how many people in India do you think can be facing this problem? Look for it, probably get data, you'll not get data. Search it. Yeah, don't get blocked with just secondary research. You can always bring in secondary research insights.
Okay.
Because just a thought away.
We
the moment you get a thought that, oh, what about this? Go and search and get that and put it in your database.
Yeah.
It's not one discrete step. Okay. Primary research is limited because you have to talk to people and stuff. Therefore, it's a costly activity that you can't keep on doing.
Yeah.
But secondary is with you, no? You can always gather data.
Okay.
To help you.
So we can
primary also, like I was having this question, how are we going to gather users? Like, so are we going to the cafes and sitting and looking for people? But
we can do guerrilla research. It's very effective. Go in groups, go in like together you go. Like, don't go alone. Then people think you are selling.
Yeah, they'll become like, what are you? Just go away. Like, why
but you have to face
right
it.
in front of my
you have to face it. I also done it. So many times people thought I'm a salesman, but I also got insights. I also spoke to people. Ajitesh, are you there in the call? Ajitesh.
Yeah. Hi, Anudeep.
Ajitesh, just come on video once.
Yeah, I'm here.
just tell them the experience of your gorilla testing recently.
Okay. So experience
Call
in the
never
sense,
ends.
what do you want?
Call will never end. I'm telling you the secret now. It's anyway. I'm just only scared about my wife now, but yeah.
What part of gorilla testing?
Usability test.
How do you go and find users?
Like, how do you approach your users when you are out in the cafe or some public places, and how do you start? Because, and sometimes, you will just approach them and they'll be like, I'm not interested in giving the interview. Like, for then, we again deviate from them and look for another leads. So how is that entire process like? If at all we are wanting to approach that peer for our
how to pitch in, right?
Okay. Okay, I'll tell you the trick that I used. Okay. First thing, like, you need to be well groomed while you're presenting yourself, because if not, they would not even look at you.
So Ajitesh, for advice. Yeah. Yes, sales background.
Yeah. And second thing, like, first is you go give a shake hand, tell them hi, and tell them that. So since I did my particular.
Where did you find these people?
Okay, how did I find? Okay, I'll start from there. So see, I didn't have a particular place in mind. So initially I went to a place, it's a food court where, since my target audience was family with kids, I decided to go to such a place where I could possibly find family with kids, right?
Very good point. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I went there, I saw a family who was sitting. And then first thing, like, am I disturbing you? Like, I need a couple of minutes. I'm working for Lenskart as a product designer. Though I am not, okay? Because one guy, when I put this point across, one guy was like, okay, show me your ID card. I was like, sorry, boss. I don't have an ID card as of now because I newly joined the company. It's yet to come. So possibly once it comes, I'll WhatsApp it to you. You can share your number with me. Right? So you just deviate the conversation there.
You don't have to tell this also. You can tell them that you're doing a research as a part of a college and as a part of the project or whatever. You can tell them this. You don't have to always tell that you're an employee of the company.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did that because I wanted a more, I would say, a deeper or a more concentrated insight with them. So
that can act against you also, bro.
Okay.
Research institutes don't always tell the company names to the participants. Because now if they know that you are from Lenskart, they'll try to impress you to get offers and discounts from Lenskart.
Okay. I never thought of this.
Whenever I go to research, we never tell participants that I'm from Amazon. Never.
Okay.
In fact, the agency brings them saying they don't even tell the company name.
Okay. Find the users. Understood.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good. Anyway, go ahead. Tell it.
Yeah. So, first thing, you need to prepare a very good questionnaire, dude, for doing a usability test. All of that is there. And what can I say? How did I find users?
Tell one incident of how you approach someone. What did they say? Did they ask you to fuck off? Did they ask you to say sit? Tell all that. No.
Okay. See, so I approached a family. So this is the first user that happened with my gorilla testing. So I approached him and he was like, I'm currently having
Send that photos also.
Sorry?
Send those photos also. Send it to me on WhatsApp. I'll show people.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll do it. So I asked him, like, is it the right time to talk to you? Because I need just 10 minutes of your time because it's for a purpose that I'm doing and stuff. And then he was like, decently, he was like, no, currently I'm hungry and my kid is also hungry. So, give me 10 minutes, I'll get back to you. I was like, shall I order coffee or something for you so that you relax? He's like, no, you can, it's all fine. So I waited there. I ordered a coffee for myself. I was just sipping it. And post which he only approached, like he came, sat on my table and we had this particular discussion, right? So this was the first user. And speaking about the second one, I would say this was in coffee day. Okay.
Tell things about your rejections also. No, that's the biggest problem.
Yeah, exactly. I'll tell them about that also, rejection as well.
What?
So rejection,
first person family, they spoke to you. That's it.
Yeah, the first was a click. Okay, I didn't even have a thought that it might go negative, because working in sales, like irrespective of what rejections I'm getting, I would go for a positive. Like I would turn it into positive, right? So leaving that part. So after going to the food court, I was just passing by, and it was just a park. Okay. I was like, okay, why not try? I parked my car. I approached a person. And he was like, sorry, I'm very busy right now. I'm currently negotiating salary with my company. So I'm just reading some Google document. So I was like, okay, good. Like, I'm good at negotiating. I can give you a couple of insights with respect to that. And I did that to him. I helped him out a bit. And then I was like, okay, since I helped you, I need a little help of yours as well. And then I did my usability test with him. Right. So, and then one more person was like, sorry, I'm very busy. I came with my colleagues, so I don't have any time to speak to you. I need to leave. I just have half an hour lunch break and stuff. Right. So that time, like, obviously you can't do anything. You'll be like, okay, bye, see you. That's all you can say. And so rejections in the sense, these are the kind of rejections that I faced, right? And it's not that randomly you go approach everyone. You basically look at them, you understand, you see to that it's a weekend, because mostly weekends are the time that, people are free and, they have some time to spend along, right, with you, for a stranger at least. And leaving that, yeah, I went to coffee day next, because I was like, okay, I'm done with this place. Like, the waiters were, continuously looking at me. Why is this guy coming back again and again here? So I even had to tip the waiter, telling, boss, this for some other purpose. Like, you just chill. He was like, yeah, no issues, right? And then I
dollars went the problem.
So I went to coffee day next, and I told them I'm ready to help you with a coffee if you're ready to help me with something, spend just 10 minutes of your time, right? So either people say coffee is not needed, I can help you, or you might also find people telling, okay, cool, like we can do this trade-off, right? And all the time have a smile on your face and be very interactive. Like I would say happy to approach them kind of stuff, because Anudeep also does that, right? If he's very silent and dull like this, and if he's teaching, none of you would be interested to talk to him. Correct? So the body language and the way you approach them, all of this is only for guerrilla testing that I'm telling, right? And also when you're asking questions, that you...
See guys, those who don't understand the word guerrilla testing, it means approaching random people.
Yeah.
In places like in malls, on the road. Approaching random people is called guerrilla testing. Instead of going and putting an effort to go and recruit people and bringing them and all that stuff, you take this path. You just go randomly and find people. Yeah. Okay, that is the thing.
And I was about to tell something. Sorry, it just slipped out.
CCD.
Sorry?
CCD.
Coffee day, yes. So I went to coffee day, and that is when this particular guy, when I approached him telling, that I'm a designer from, Lenskart, and I'm asking for this. So that's when he asked me for an ID card. He was like, okay, like, can you show me your ID card and stuff? And then I replied that that's not the case. It's not come. And yeah, this is what I was about to tell you. So see, they are strangers, right? So they're not getting anything by helping you out. So you also need to keep in mind that the questionnaires that you're going to set, it is not going to bug them, right? So asking, if he tells you a thing, okay, why did you say that? Why did you do this? Like going why, more into, though as a designer, you have that curiosity to understand. Like I clearly figured it out from their facial expressions telling I'm just bugging them. Right. So that is when I knew I had to stop. So my second interview was better than the first one. Third one was better than the second one. So that's how, it would approach. And if you guys are actually planning to guerrilla testing, plan a questionnaire, go do the first one, and don't have a plan of doing the second one in the same day or immediately, right? Go back, understand what exactly, happened. Reflect back on the entire thing, and then, reiterate to become better. Yeah.
So you observe and keep everything in your mind then and there, right?
You give them tasks.
Yeah, you give them tasks, like that's how
you should note down anything there and there, right?
So what I did was, I basically had a secondary phone in my house. So initially itself, I told them that since, I can't remember everything that you're going to tell me, like even I'm a human being, I would like to record this with your consent, if you're okay. This is just a voice recording, and it's only for personal reference purposes. So
you can record the screen also.
Sorry?
You can record the screen also. You can ask them and record the screen as well. Usability testings.
Oh.
You can enable tabs.
I never did this, Anudeep.
Yeah.
Next time, like, yeah, there's always.
You can enable tabs.
Okay.
Android or iOS can show you the tabs.
Yeah, correct. I know. Yeah, for my prototype, for putting it on the medium file, screen recording.
Enable tabs and start screen recording. You can ask them.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. There are, once I used a tool which will record both the face and the screen.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I forgot that. I did it long back. We here, what we use a separate camera for recording and separate screen. We record that. We do all this separately. But easy manner is the phone is there. It records both the face and the screen.
Correct.
Even do eye tracking and stuff, right?
Eye tracking is too much. Yeah, you can do that.
That is for your project level and all. I don't think expression is what is I would say will give you proper clarity.
Yeah.
Right. So when you ask him to do a task and you observe his face, you observe his the phone and his hand, right? Where he's scrolling, what is he looking at and stuff. And you can also tell this that think out loud when you're doing this. 2 people in my users, the 3 people didn't think out loud, but the other 2 people actually, did it for me, right? So they actually thought that, what is this? What is that? Like, yeah, I can't figure it out. And, it's very easy for me. It's a very nice place, good colors and whatever, right? So all of this is just data that you're collecting, which will going to help you better, help your, design, the final design.
Yeah. Can you also give 1 or 2 examples of tasks, like what kind of task did you allotted them?
See, a task in the sense, the first thing that is going to be a completely, project specific task because I'm working on Lenscard, right? That's the app I'm working on. So the
flow, you get the flow.
Okay, I'll tell you. Okay. So I personally had this particular, I would say hypothesis that I came up with where, if a person is booking the home checkup for himself, it is easy. Okay. Because you don't need to adjust the map, zoom in, zoom out, anything. Right.
Yeah.
But when I basically did the usability test, I did understand that there is a lot of, I would say, usability issues for myself. So I wanted to prove it. So then rather than telling the user, giving a task that book it for yourself, I told him, why don't you book it for a friend who's in your hometown or in a different location, right? So that time, what they would do on the phone is different, correct? They would start looking out different options. They would look for a GPS, address enter bar or location pin on the particular screen. So you also need to smartly design the tasks where it is not just the task that the user wants to do. So I'll tell you. Okay, so my task I initially gave my user telling, okay, why don't you book a home checkup for yourself? So he's like, cool. So he got the option. Without even reading any details on the top and bottom, he was just like, because usually CTS are in the bottom, correct? He was just like, okay, proceed. He was like, yeah, it's done.
Yeah, just to complete the task.
Yeah, because as a stranger, when you give him this telling, complete the task, so egoistically, what he'll think is, okay, like, is he trying to test my intelligence level if I'm able to complete the task or no? There might be a number of thoughts that he might have. Correct? So how did I understand this after doing the usability test and then understanding why the fuck is this guy doing this? Right? Like, because if I'm thinking from his point of view, that is fair. You asked me to book a task, I'm booking. It's simple. I just went, click proceed. And I saw the phone telling boss, it's done. So then you start probing. So in the workbook also, when you see, it is task based. First, it's observation points that you write down. Then it is tasks that you give. After that, it is probing questions. So when you're probing questions, you basically start understanding skills on a multi-directional level, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think.
Or maybe the task was so direct that they are just completing the task, proceed that you're mentioning.
Yeah. So that is true, right? And what you're understanding from this usability wise, the user is able to book a task, correct? But as a UX designer for this particular project, is that your aim? What are the different aims you have? One aim, yes, he's able to book a movie ticket for himself or whatever, right? But there are other things as well that you keep in mind. There are multiple hypotheses that you come up with, right? So for checking all of this, you need to have different type of probing questions, ask them, make it a very interactive session.
So when you were doing your evaluative project, what were the style of hypothesis that you got? Because as far as I am concerned with my hypothesis that I have come up with, they are majorly small tweaks, like, some buttons should be in a certain way. There is missing of some buttons. They are very surface level, which I would just say that, like Sir was mentioning the last call. So it was true when I was doing it, I was like, okay, I am actually doing the exact same thing what Sir told, it's going to be surface level. So am I going in the right direction? And when we have these hypotheses, which are very small and very surface level, while executing that, like proper interview that we will have one-on-one. So during that time, like how are we really going to understand those areas that, is those buttons having an issue? Like what are the questions, follow-up questions that we can do after having them, perform their task? Because that was something I was just looking, okay, these are the hypotheses that I have, but when I go for the interview, like when is it that I'll see whether those buttons are genuinely an issue that I've actually located, or is it something else? If at all it is something else, I'll get to know it. But the major things that I've come up with, they were like small tweaks. So so that is a thing
you'll
that
learn that, Neha. May I understand it happens, and if I see something like that, I usually ask people to reevaluate again. It's fine. I mean, you also completed research also, right?
No, so
We are
I'm in
on
the
it.
research.
Yeah.
Your hypothesis could have been small. It's fine. Research, you might have come up with bigger issues. It can happen.
Okay.
Yeah. Start thinking in a bigger journey perspective. You'll find bigger issues.
Got it.
The problem is you're trying to spot fix solutions, spot fix problems. Spot identify problems. Start thinking about the user's journey and like what are they intending, what is happening. Like think about all that at every stage. Be in that flow. Then you'll find bigger issues, not just spot fixing issues.
Got it. Yeah, maybe, I have to change that perspective there, because when I was doing my hypothesis and I was writing it down with solutions, I was like, okay, these are like the bare minimum that I can do. That is like more of a UI part, if I'll just generalize it to be on a bigger spectrum. But as far as the UX is concerned, where I'll really impact something different, there may be, just one or two such like fixing that I can do, like in the entire journey.
Correct. So now you see in the journey perspective, you'll find bigger issues for sure. Do it as a group activity, guys. Again, continue doing those, what you're doing in your groups. You'll find bigger issues.
Okay.
Even Ajitesh had the same problem in the starting.
Okay.
So maybe while doing the competitive research, we will actually get that broader spectrum, whether
It'll happen.
Okay.
It'll happen. You'll see competitors doing a totally different approach. You'll start asking, why did I do it here? Then you'll see a big problem.
Okay.
And validate that as a problem.
And like Ajitesh, what are the other way we can do if we are not going for the guerrilla like research work that we will be doing?
Whatever is in the workbook, you can follow that.
Yes, exactly. It's all there in the workbook.
So can we do it with like our UX people? Like if at all we are not getting it, like the ones who actually don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna snitch now.
Do you think you should actually do it with your UX guys?
Right? But you can use the community. You can find contacts through them. Like if your targeted users are.
Like, can we do it with the level 1?
Okay, got your point.
Who has just joined?
Still, it'll be biased. No, your results, your insights will be biased in some way. They know that you are related to. You're working for a UX, and you're looking.
They'll start learning evaluative project from you.
Okay. So by the reference that you were saying, that we can obviously say that
do this way. You get me a person.
Okay.
Sit in my interview without knowing.
Okay.
You'll see how I'm interviewing.
Okay, fine.
The other person should not know that you are there.
Okay.
Ghost call.
Live interview.
Huh?
Live? Are you doing it live?
You'll do Zoom calls and all, no? Google Meet Zoom calls, no? For your display testing. Live, live it's a little difficult. This you can try.
Then there is this constraint, no sir. How will we really understand what is the exact button that he's doing? You know, like which page is he in? Like how can we like screen share and do those
We
things?
asked them, no? Yeah.
We did screen share with camera on in our hackathon. All of us did that.
Yeah.
You can also do the same.
Okay.
Tap and touch is one way of doing. Actually, you can always limit your usability testing to whatever technology limitations you have.
Okay.
Sometimes all we do is just share the product screens on the desktop screen on a Zoom call in our screen and ask users what they're understanding. That's it.
Okay.
Oh, fine.
Whatever you can test is what you can test. That's it. There's no fixed formula way of like always it has to be like on the app, they should have this, only then they can test. It's not like that. You're always limited with the technology you have. And the constraints you have.
That's
You got it, no?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good that we are here. Now people are talking about usability tests. Thank God I didn't, get lost in the problem statements discussion for this call. But yeah, I know people struggling with problem statements. But I want others, seniors, everyone to also help others with their problem statements and stuff. Groups, please keep actively helping your other people for their problem statements. Yeah. So I've given you the heart, but as much as you get it, please help others and let them come over the doubts in the problem statements. Yeah. If there is anyone absolutely not getting any ideas of problem statements, just go and look at problem statements, pick one of the problem statements and start solving. It's fine. It's not like nobody in the entire world. Previously, the entire community was working only on 10 problem statements.
Yeah, everyone will solve it in a different way, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we have like hundreds of problem statements.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next call will be on Diwali.
Oh, there is Diwali next week.
Yep.
When is it?
Why on Diwali, Sumit? Really?
It's on Sunday, na? So Sunday is like.
Diwali is Sunday.
Diwali is on Monday.
24th है ना Diwali?
24th Monday.
The bigger Diwali is Monday.
A Chota Diwali is 23rd. Chota Diwali, so you can take the call. But I don't know if like your son will want to burst crackers, no?
India Pakistan is also on that day, no?
Discord पे बैठना सब साथ में देख के इंडिया पाकिस्तान.
Yeah. I wish how it will be in the community when you're watching together, when we have both people from both the countries in the community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
Ehsan, what would you say? I don't know.
Actually,
crazy, I guess. Yeah.
Anudeep can pose for that meme, that Pakistan guy with a checkered shirt.
He posted that yesterday, no? Yeah. Yeah.
Watching a match when there are people supporting the same team is good, but people supporting both the people.
Learn UX from that, man.
That's a very bad idea. Very bad
patience. Idea. It'll make you unlearn confirmation bias. You'll start learning that other people exist, other perspectives exist. It teaches you empathy. Yeah.
There are better ways to do that because that will end up in a fight.
Just stop the fight. That is how empathy comes. Yeah. Literally, that's how I've also learned, man. I mean, obviously, I'm a very aggressive person. And not now, but yeah. So I learned it the hard way about empathy. But once the transformation comes, you'll learn, you'll have a lot of patience. All the patience which you guys see over here is because of all the opportunities I picked to learn empathy. The moment you start thinking the other person's perspective, you'll start cooling down basically. Like, okay, no problem. Yeah. So this is definitely a good idea.
Do as many empathy maps as possible.
After the match. So
anybody working on apps like ClickBus or something will be useful.
Yeah. So I kept this reel yesterday on problem statements. And then people are like, they were discussing from problem statements and all. Oh, so 53 comments came out. Oh my God. Hey, you guys also comment, no? Your problem statements and stuff. Hey, do something. Share stories on. Take the photo of your problem statement, whatever. Share story that you created this problem statement as a part of this and whatever. And I'll reshare it. Let people know the quality of problem statements we are making by ourselves. Yeah. You don't have to rely. You go and look at the problem statements. People come up with funny ones. I'll show you. We'll see. Create app that allows local citizens and neighbors to capture and report maintenance issues in the neighborhood, like road damages. Number one, like social issues. The moment I say problem statement, immediately people will come with app for a social issue. Yeah. People are doing collabs also on my post.
Anudeep, you should do a reel. Newton's law of UX.
You know? Yeah. Do one thing, guys. Comment your problem statement over here. Probably. People are... Anyway, won't say it on public. Guys, people are thinking we don't have problem statements, guys. They're asking them to go to other other content creators. That's an insult. Come on, guys, please. Come on, I want to see stories. Your problem statement cards. Take a photo of it like that. Right. I made this problem statement myself. I understood about business impact, this and all, and made the problem statement myself. Yeah. Put on the story. I'll share it. At minimum 2 stories I need. Also, whatever you have learned from the class, if you have loved it, take a photo and put it on your story. Let's talk to the world. Yeah. Awesome. Palak already shared a story here. Yeah. Awesome. Okay. So see you all again next week. But probably if you guys want to continue the discussion, you can join the UXM VC and continue the discussion and spoil your entire Sunday anyway. That's 4 minutes to 10 o'clock. So yeah, 4 minutes more. Yeah. So we can say we ended at 10. Yeah. I don't want to have a 9. Hey, thank you for the story, Palak. Palak even joined back, went somewhere, partied, and came back.
No. Thank you.
Yeah.
Anudeep, I have a doubt on.
Tell brother.
Actually, I don't know if it is a problem or not. I don't know about it. Is a UX problem or not? I don't know about that. But in Spotify, so actually, when you click a song, means automatically ads played. You know, right? In the Spotify application.
What did you say? Tell me again.
So when you play a song, automatically the ad will come from the 30-second ad will come up, right? So so when I close the app and again open the song, means that the ad couldn't came. So this impact the business metric of this application, right? So it comes under the UX or some other thing.
I would say it's a bug that people have discovered and, like making use of it. For sure, it's impacting
bug also.
But sir, like
business to any app comes only when the click is made, right?
They want to run the full ad, na? Whether you close it or come back.
But yeah, even if you just come out of the app and you restart, the ad will start.
No, Actually, in Spotify, it's not happening.
Bro, but this is for everyone, no?
YouTube
Even for
doesn't
YouTube
show
also
some like
happens.
that only. Actually, today I played a lot of songs like this manner only.
Yeah, I'm just thinking. As UX designer, would you solve that problem? Not really. That's how I can put it for sure. It is a problem in the experience, but do we actually solve these kind of problems? We don't.
Okay, right.
Anudeep?
Come on, guys. Who is putting stories? Come on, tell me. Yeah. No story here.
Technically, every Sunday I put stories.
Story in progress.
Yeah. The reason why stories are important is because people need validation, guys. Outside people need validation about the awesome stuff you're doing here. Yeah. Imagine before you joined, you had no idea like how it will be. You struggle to understand whether this is a valid program or not. Or are you wasting money? We are spending enough money to advertise the program, but we need enough validation from people inside to tell them that it is worth it. So yeah. And come on, guys, we are making hundreds of problem statements here, and like people are like asking them to go to other creators. This is not at all done.
Yes, Anudeep, whenever I tag you and you repost my story, so some people like 2, 3, 5 people on the same day coming and asking how is Anudeep bootcamp?
Do that favor to me. Do that favor. Yeah,
yes.
Let people come, talk.
I'm just giving a long message completely explaining how he's helping everyone.
Yeah.
Even though we are making the problem statement by ourselves with the help of him.
Do one thing, guys. Don't clearly show your problem statement. Just in a blurred way, you take a photo. So you don't want to share it with others. Like, she will get DMs. It's okay.
I'm doing that.
I'm thinking like people will start evaluating there and there my problem statement.
Yeah.
Sumit, your app is any which is updating every 5 days. Then if somebody comes up with a problem, proper, solutioning and a proper project, then so what will you do?
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. That blur thing is, I think, good.
I usually got inquiry from overseas, like saying, "Okay, how's the program and all that?" So I said, "Yeah, it's good." So like, I mean, this is all IST. What about the people who want to really, invest in who's like abroad based and all? So I said, you can speak to Anudeep, directly message him. He will definitely guide you there. So they're like, okay, definitely we'll get in touch with Anudeep
What people
directly.
do, they put one long message. These are I'm just replying that long message and read later and get back to you. Or people say, hi. That's it. They're expecting me to reply back saying, hi, how are you? What's up? Yeah. Anyway. So, Dude, who kept the story? Nothing came still. I'm not leaving you. After this much effort, this much call.
2 minutes. Anudeep, 2 minutes.
Without stories.
2 minutes. I'm coming.
Take rounds or do one thing, guys. Just simply take a photo of this and put it and write what you have learned in the call.
Am I audible? Hello.
Yeah, you're audible.
You're audible.
Yeah, 2 minutes.
Yeah. What you see? Who all questions I've answered today? Huh?
Mine.
Pushpa, where is your story? I answered your question. Yeah.
Sir, I'm still waiting for you to. Sir, I'm still waiting for you to review my DT project.
So? You will not put story, huh?
I thought every Sunday I'm put stories, sir.
I'll come back to it. I'm making reports. We'll come back there.
I'm waiting and I don't know when that wait is gonna get over. I was hoping I'll get roasted by you, but I haven't yet.
It'll come because I'm changing the strategy. So I'll come. I'll tell you.
Okay, I'm waiting for the day.
Focus on this project for now. So focus on these learnings for now. So you'll get back. It was supposed to happen last week itself, but I still need 2 weeks more. So yeah.
I to put every Sunday, sir. How can you say that I don't upload only? You miss out my stories and I can't help it.
I didn't see when you were speaking. I didn't know who was talking.
Acha, okay.
Okay, now I see some stories. Akshit literally blurred his problem statement. Yeah.
The layer blurred.
Keshav,
tag the company's name.
Your business spelling is wrong. Share it again. Correct the spelling. And write down that you yourself created the problem statements. Sorry, what else? Someone is saying something?
No, you have to write the product name and saying that we are coming after you.
Yeah.
Anudeep, I'm Divya. What about
where is the story?
YouTube Kids?
Huh? Tell me.
Where it is posted, I really missed the flow of the class now.
What? I didn't understand. Sorry.
I actually missed a few minutes class. Actually, where it is posted, problem statement. Which platform?
What problem statement?
We are
Instagram reel.
We have to post some stories of our problem statement on our Instagram reel.
No, she's asking something else.
Actually, I don't use Instagram, so.
Damn. That problem I can't solve.
Okay, I need feedbacks for YouTube Kids, Anudeep. Is it a good problem statement? I should switch to other one.
Still came
I'm
back to
eagerly
that,
waiting
no?
for your reply.
I gave you a go ahead. No. 1 second. I think I gave you a go ahead. I gave you a go ahead. Initially, I didn't understand, but later I will chat on your problem statement card only. Put it again, saying that you're still not sure.
Okay.
This is the one.
Do you have any previous experience?
No, sir.
Sorry, you can't get the job.
Then how to get experience, sir?
Go get a job.
But that only asking for jobs, sir.
Luckily, in UX design career, you have a way out. Working on dummy projects, on problems which are very similar to what UX designers are currently solving in real companies.
Dummy projects and all, I don't know if they'll work, bro.
Absolutely they work. Because the point of the dummy projects is not about getting the end result, but to showcase your own thought process of solving a problem so that recruiters can understand if you have the potential to solve a problem in real company. A step-by-step case study on these dummy projects has landed their first jobs and internships to many of my mentees.
Well, you might ask, on what ideas should I work on these dummy projects?
If you have an idea, comment on this post. And if you're looking for ideas, look at the comments.
Do you have any previous experience?
No, sir.
Good.
So, yeah. And then people...
Both the audio yours? The first one and the second one?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, nice.
They were just shot with 1 year difference.
Anudeep,
this was shot 1 year ago, and the red color t-shirt was literally shot yesterday.
So the script is about 1 year old.
Yeah, it's actually a 1 year old script.
That means it,
so
you post once again. I like that. I thought like that.
Sorry?
Double the time you post same video. Like I thought like that. So
your voice is
keep your mic close.
Actually, double the time you post the same video, I thought like that only. Because that you in last video, right? last.
Yeah. I repurpose some content. You have to do that because it's social media, no? So content is very contextual. It goes away after a few days and stuff like this. It's no more discoverable.
Yes.
So we keep reposting stuff by contextualizing and changing some stuff. And yeah.
Anudeep, you suggested to use a user set board. Actually, I did not understand what is that.
User?
Set board for YouTube Kids.
I'll discuss on your problem statement. Okay? I totally understand.
Because I got time, my family is out, so I have today time.
I'll reply today itself, okay?
Okay, thank you, Anudeep.
I'll reply today itself after the call.
Thanks for sleepless night.
Yeah. But I love how you are pestering, but good that you will do. I didn't say board, I said broad.
Broad, okay.
What do you mean board and all? Yeah.
Okay.
I'll reply there. I understood.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And the 10 p.m. mark reached.
But stories did not come, bro.
I posted, even though I don't have a problem statement. even if I don't use Instagram, I was like, fuck, open Instagram today. Koi nahi kar raha, main hi kar deta hu.
Yeah.
I've also posted Vidya.
Sumit Sai shared.
Yeah.
Keshav, share again, bro. Suprit.
Anudeep, I also shared.
Different post on Suprit. No, who else is that?
Yeah, it's Suprit itself.
Yeah. Put on your story, bro.
Yeah. Okay.
I can't share this. Oh, in your feed there. What? You're watching me on your big TV, huh?
Myself. I was watching the YouTube sessions.
Yeah. This Suprit's feed is filled with my photos only. Crazy, dude. Anyway. Your problem statement itself you directly posted.
Yes, Anudeep.
Put it on a story, bro.
Yeah, I'm putting up.
I think I can share your story.
Posted, Anudeep.
Write down clearly that you wrote it. You made it as a part of this.
Yes, Anudeep, I mentioned I have created as a part of
I'm just
it.
telling the people. Hariharan. So much. 1 second. First I'll post and then we will read. This guy went.
Do I want to read it to everyone?
I'm showing.
Okay.
I'm still getting posted, I guess.
It's not updated yet, I think.
Yeah. You have to refresh because it did not even have mine. I think Chrome.
I got the thing on my mobile. You reshared it, yeah.
So refresh it in your
browser.
Yeah.
Yeah. We come up with our own problem statements and the projects. We do our portfolio, and here is mine. This is freaking awesome, brah. I'm very grateful for my mentor. Thank you for all things, understanding products and metrics and everything. Is this like a post on a post in a post? No, right?
No. That is I kept it on my screen. I just
wonderful, dude.
It. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Great. By hook or crook, I got some stories. I'll add them to a highlight and get people here to see that. Yeah, you can create your own problem statements. Okay. Awesome, guys. Thank you. This is good. Yeah.
Thank you.
This will be a long recording, but it will be worth it. So good. See you all. You guys can catch up on a VC if you want. UXM VC. Yeah. Bye then. Bye.
Bye, sir.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Anudeep.
Bye.
Bye, sir.
Bye.